Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bearded Respect number 80. Woo!
80. That's amazing.
Yes. And we've got a pretty good show scheduled for tonight. So interesting guest and a giveaway later. So let's get the show on the road and make it through our next intro, and then we will be back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
Jason, you want to welcome these fine people on the show?
Yes, we'll get started. E-Rock was first. Hey, E-Rock.
What's up, E-Rock?
Hey.
Walter was second. Hey, buddy.
Walter, hey, what's up?
Mark. Hey, Mark. Yes.
What's up, Mark?
Yes, they are. They are.
Hey, brother.
Hey, JP.
Hello.
Hey, Josh. Been a while. Good to see you.
Josh Ricks, what's up?
Hello.
Philip with one L. Or Phil with one L.
Phil.
Sorry. Hey, Phil.
What's up, Phil?
Here's my brother Luigi now to tell you a whole heap of a spaghetti pile of information.
Long one.
Yeah. That's the long one.
Hey, Russ.
What's up, Russ? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
G-Lou.
Gary. How's it going, Gary?
Hello.
There she is. Hi, Becky.
Hey, Becky.
Hey, Becky. Hey, honey. Where'd you go? Oh, I lost her.
Hi, Ellie.
Hey, Ellie.
Hey, Ellie.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Hey, Justin.
What's up, Justin?
Hello.
Hey, brother.
Hey, Garrett.
Garrett, what's up,
Hi,
man?
Garrett. Glad you could make it.
Hello.
Yeah, he has been everywhere lately.
Busy week for Carrie. Yeah, absolutely.
No way.
And no, Garrett, that's Scott's job.
No, there was just a bunch of talk before the show that.
Official Ken. Aloha.
What's up, Ken?
Oh man.
Hey, TV.
What's up, TV?
Ooh, an after hours show.
Oh, Jay Cruz is doing an after hours one.
Yeah. I saw that.
American Classic Beard Co. How you doing?
How you doing, Shade?
Oh. Hey, Scott. Good to see you. Sorry
Scott.
about your dad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Condolences.
Sorry.
Very hard.
Yeah, Gary. Well, that was Tara's episode, right? From Rockaholic, and we were worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were worried she was going to say something about the episode. Hey, Chris.
What's up, Chris?
Jay Chris.
Hey, Tara.
What's up, Tara?
What can I say except you're welcome?
Hey, Michael.
Zarate, what's up, man?
Hello, murderer.
I tell you didn't catch the end of that. I might have to change that one. Here.
Hello, murderer.
Hey, what's up, Nicholas?
Hey, Nicholas. Oh, you're out in California.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's not up in Maine.
We got, I'm not sure. It was supposed to hit 97 today, but it was pretty hot in Wisconsin for Wisconsin weather.
It was about 88 here, and we had a storm. I see my computer says it's only 70. Hey,
Well, that's
Alvina.
cold.
Alvina,
Yeah.
what's up? Thanks for coming in. We have TV and LV.
Well, I did show Becky first. He said honey late.
Yeah, and I was trying to find this.
Hello, Becky.
Oh,
It's pretty quiet though.
Hey, Dan.
what's up, Beard of the North? He's had some interesting videos lately.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one today.
I tell you what, Garrett, he is beefy. I didn't get to weigh him today because right after work, I went and picked up pizza for supper and I come home and took my nap. So I didn't weigh him yet. But I'm going to say he's 14 pound today because he was like 13 pound, 14 ounces yesterday. So I'm sure he's 14 pound today, but he's doing good. The other two are still doing good. They're not sold yet, so anybody wants a puppy, hit me up. We're still trying. Had a lot of tire kickers, but nobody committing yet. Hey. Hey, Donnie.
How
What's
you
up,
doing?
Donnie?
Normally he's working during our show.
Yeah, hey, Scott, don't, yeah.
Understood,
Completely
man.
understandable, yeah. Yep, you got to take care of your family, man.
No worries.
We are reducing the price a little, Gary. And we're caught up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So with that, I guess we'll bring on our guest, who I'm sure many of you already know.
Never heard of him.
No?
Nope.
I got 2 English Bulldog puppies up for sale.
Yeah, intro music. Wow. That is special.
Yeah, I love the music. Got to make a grand entrance.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was messing with the soundboard today.
Yeah, he was. I had a chat. With Karen for 10 minutes before this.
Yeah, I didn't realize I had a voice changer still left.
But I didn't tell him.
No. And then Michael came in. What the hell is wrong?
Yeah, I shouldn't have said anything. Should just let it go.
I'm sure
Hey.
Jason would have said something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's up,
Especially coming in,
Nicholas? Hey, Mark.
coming in a little late, I'd have been like, huh? What are you doing?
Well-
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Carrie just come in, so I didn't want to. Yeah, Shade. I do have a mail. Are you on IG as American Classic Beard Co? I'll hit you up and send you some pictures.
Yep, I think he's got 2 pages, maybe. Or maybe it's just the 1 page. But Shade Carpenter is.
Okay, I've never followed him as Shade.
Yeah.
He's out there. You should be able to find him.
Okay, I'll hit you up
Wow.
after the show.
There you
How
go.
about that? That's a first for me on a stream. We're selling dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're 10 weeks today. And, yeah, I've had them on the live stream. What, two times or 3?
Mhm.
Yeah.
2 times, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of Mark.
Yeah, they're getting to be a handful. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh,
Hey, Ken.
what's up, Ken?
Hey,
Happy
Ken.
birthday, Ken.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I sent you something today, Ken.
Ooh.
Are we ready for some questions?
Yeah, let's get to it. All right, Carrie, this is our icebreaker just to get to know you a little bit. I usually like to start off with, tell us your favorite toy as a kid. Like when you were a kid, what was that one toy that you always played with?
Stretch Suba.
Stretch
Suba.
Suba?
Stretch Armstrong.
Armstrong, okay.
Oh,
There was a catcher for the Astros named Stretch Suba, and I used to always call that toy Stretch Suba, even though it was Stretch.
Oh, okay.
But I used to spend like days trying to figure out what's inside this thing, like what
Yeah.
makes it stretchy, like. And they were pretty tough, man. But
Oh,
yeah. That and big wheels.
Okay.
We used to get at the top of the driveway and go down and pull up on the handle and
Yeah.
wipe out. Yeah.
Do you remember which big wheel you had?
Oh no, I do not, man.
I had the Dukes of Hazzards one.
Oh no, I didn't.
Wow.
I guess mine was just standard. It was just like blue.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We had a standard one, then we had a Mean Machine. A green
Oh
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
Garrett had 5 stretch Armstrongs. I'm telling you, man. And there, it's just like it was the curiosity of like, is this gel inside here or what's inside here? You know?
He'd break them open. Wow.
Yeah. I was a destructive kid.
All right. What so you're from Buda, Texas.
Buda.
Bude?
Buda.
Yeah.
Buda. There's a specific race in Buda, Texas that it's nationally known for. Do you know what it is?
The wiener dog races.
Yes. Wiener dog races. Now, do you have a wiener dog?
No, we have we have 2 Shih Tzus.
Okay.
But we had a lab and she passed away, and we had already got the Shih Tzu before she had passed away, and then when the lab passed away, she was bored to death. So my wife was like, "We're getting another dog." I was like, "Cool, let's get another lab." She was like, "No, we're getting another Shih Tzu." I was like, "Oh God." And they're like polar opposites, you know, like. One of them doesn't bark and she's just calm and comfortable, and the other one just constantly barking, man, just constantly barking, you know? So, but yeah, the wiener dog races, man, it's a big deal here.
Have you ever been to one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's fun to watch, and, you know, and they have like food and beer.
Hot dogs?
Yeah. 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 You know, you can get hot dogs, fajitas, and all that stuff, you know. It's a big deal here, you know.
Yeah. I found that interesting.
Yeah. How'd you come across that one?
Just looking up your town there.
Wow.
Yeah.
The claim to fame.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, and I actually have been through there.
You've been
I used to live in Austin after I got out of the Army.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I was at Fort Hood, and then I was in Austin.
Yeah, no, we lived in Austin for, over 20 years before. Well, my wife is from Austin, and I'm from Houston. I moved to Austin in 97, and we lived there for, about 20, a little over 20 years, I guess you'd say. Probably 22 years before we moved out to Buda, because Austin just got to be not the same as it was in 1997.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
That's about when I left.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, if you go to like, out by the lake, and things like that, I mean, of course it's fine because there's, $200 million mansions out by the lake and stuff like that. It's great. But yeah, if you go to downtown Austin, the funny thing about Austin is the worst part of Austin is right in front of the police station.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Like down by 6th Street and stuff,
Yeah.
6th Street, that was the place to be, and now it's like only the place to be as long as you're carrying a gun and watching your back,
Oh, wow.
Didn't mean to say the G word on your stream. Hope we don't get any, but that's just how it is now. It's just not the same, So Buda is basically, here's Austin, and then here's a highway called 1626, which I have a stint named after, and then Buda's on the other side. So, it's like it's almost the same thing, except life's a little bit different out here. There's more pastures and country and things like that. So,
well, that one picture that Scott had in the intro there with the Buda Water Tower looks like it's a small town.
Yeah, that's downtown Buda. I think it actually says something else on it now, but yeah, it's right at Main Street, and basically right when you come into Buda, right when you get into downtown Buda, that's where it's at, right there. You can get into downtown Buda, blink, and you'll miss it.
Yeah. There's a lot of those in Texas.
Oh yeah.
I actually live in Elgin.
Oh yeah,
just outside. Yeah,
barbecue, baby. Elgin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Elgin and Luling, all those places. They call that Barbecue Alley. Lockhart, Luling, Elgin. They got some of the best barbecue, man, out there.
I remember the first time I went through a drive-through liquor store down there. they had one of those when I was down there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, drive-through liquor stores. They got those all over Cheyenne. I've never gone through one, but they're all over every corner. It seems like.
Chris can't take his eyes off King's Bounty. I don't know, man. That scent just King's Bounty just blew up, man. You know, the ones you think aren't going to be the ones that, you know, take people by storm. That one it blew my mind because, of course, you know, we all know it has some floral notes in it, and people have their opinion about floral, but it's really light and aquatic too as well. So I mean, you know, it's an acquired taste. I always like to say King's Bounty is like a cult scent. Like people either love it or they hate it. There's like nothing in between, you know. So luckily, so far, you know, 95% of people love it. Okay, I'll stop embellishing. 90%.
Well,
I think Dan Z had something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I was when I sent it to him, I didn't know what to say. I mean, that was years ago, you know, and I was like, you know, I don't know if he's gonna like this, and he was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! You know, I love this." And there's not a day goes by or a stream that goes by, you know, he doesn't say, you know, something about King's Bounty, and I'm grateful for that. It helps, you know. It got it into a lot of people's hands in the beginning, you know. So it was a little out of my wheel.
I still like my Ace of Fades.
Oh yeah, yeah.
As far as a talc-oriented barbershop, this is my favorite because that you can get that Egyptian musk too. You know, that's my favorite. Like I said, talc-oriented barbershop. That's the best one.
Yeah, I wanted to do a talc barbershop because, you know, I used to have Psycho Billy, which was my first barbershop that I don't have anymore. But it was different, you know, it wasn't like the talc. There was no talc in it or anything like that, you know, and I always wanted an old-fashioned, a traditional barbershop because I like them myself. And so when I was doing that, I was like, okay, I'm going to do a traditional barbershop, but what can I do differently? Just add something else, you know, and Egyptian musk just went perfect with it. You know, I was like, wow, that actually worked, you know? So I enjoy it, man. It's also a great nighttime scent for butter. You know, I mean, it's just I call it a utility scent. You know, it's just you know, if you can use it anytime, and I'm kind of glad I got rid of. I mean, I didn't get rid of. I had to get rid of Psycho Billy, and I'm not going to put any more time into trying to get it up to par. But because I'm trying to get some of the older scents that were taken over by the IFRA, you know. So there's a couple others that I'm working on trying to get them back. So I'm putting all my time into that, and I'm working on a couple of new products. There's actually new products behind me. You just can't see them. They're not beard oil. They're not beard butter. It's not wash, conditioner, or anything like that. So it's cool, man. We've got some cool stuff coming up over the next few months. Trying to just elevate what we've already started, you know, and we try not to. I don't know. It's we just, I mean, we've never been one to pump out scent after scent after scent after scent. You know, it takes me a while. I like to sit on it, you know. In fact, one of the ones that I'm working on bringing back, I told Ken the other night, I said, man, August 1st will be 9 months that I've been working on it, you know. And a lot of people get in that mind frame where you want to rush it because you want it out, you know, you want it so bad, but if it's not ready, it's not ready. But I think this one is, and I sent it over to Ken today, so he should probably have it by Saturday or so, and he can test it out and let me know if it's Yeah, Mark. I mean, I guess it is. You know, I mean, I think a lot of people get a misconception about our butter because we are in Texas, which is something we talked about before the stream. You know, where it's 104 degrees and it's never during the summertime. If you order butter from us, it's not going to look like what it did when it left here. You know what I mean? So the wintertime is obviously. I think for every beard company, the summertime is like beard oil sales. You know, I mean, that's what we notice every summer is that the sales of beard oil go way up and butter goes down. You know, and that's fine as long as you know you're selling up beard oils, I guess. But yeah, we have a rough time trying to ship butters around here. I do everything I can. You know, I got the stickers that we put on the butters. You know, telling people what to do. We have stickers that we put on the outside of the package that say, refrigerate upon arrival. I've actually ordered from Chris at True North, and I got the package, and I was like, "Hey, I have those stickers too." They're exact same ones, man. So, yeah, it's a tough time to ship butters in Texas in the summer, but as long as most people, I mean, not everybody knows, but you know, anybody within the social media beard community knows how to pretty much bring a butter back to life, you know, if it melted a little bit. So we answer a lot of emails and just guide people through it, you know, or send them a link to a video and say, you know, here's what you need to do if it's, you know, half melted or whatever. I mean, some people just don't care. They just throw it in the fridge or the freezer right when they get it, and however it comes out, you know. And most of the people who've ordered it before, you know, so
yeah,
it's a tough thing to deal with, but we're not going to stop selling butters in the summer, so you know, we just kind of have to deal with it.
Yeah,
and, you know, there's already so many people who've made liquid butters that it wouldn't be cool anymore. You know, it'd be more like following along, you know? So I just leave it like it is. Leave it like it is. And it's a pretty solid, it's a pretty firm, but creamy butter. So it holds up fairly well. I mean, you just got to realize that once USPS picks up the bins, it goes in his truck, and he usually picks up from us around 10:30 in the morning. So that means he's driving it around all day in that hot USPS truck. Then he gets to a warehouse to the post office in Buda. Then it gets on another hot truck and goes to Austin. And Austin is where beard products go to die because they will literally sit in Austin for 2 days before they ship it. You know, I mean, that hub is just, I don't know. Wow. I guess they're just in disarray, but yeah, and so I tell people, I'm like, man, that beard butter was in probably 120 degree heat if you talk about the truck, you know, for at least 4 days. We all know Texas is such a huge state anyway. I mean, you can be almost 1,000 miles from the next city before you even get out of Texas, you know? So, but
you could start at the top of Texas and not get to the bottom in a day.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, was it you that posted like El Paso's closer to California than it is to Dallas?
Yeah.
What's that the other day?
Yeah, Gary, I remember that. Yeah, that was like the first year I was in business. Somebody won a giveaway, and Gary had a giveaway going to him, and he was like, "I'll just throw it in my package." And so I said, "All right, cool."
All right, back to questions. We got a little bit off there. I don't know what that has to do with wiener dogs, but
wouldn't be a good show without talking about wieners.
Right. All right. So we're talking about the beard oils and butters. What was your passion before creating beard oil, beard butter, Define company? What was your passion? What were you doing on your nights off or, weekends off?
You mean like even long before I started the company?
Yeah, before making your own beard company, beard oils.
Well, I was a paper broker, which, I sold offset and coated paper to large commercial printers. And like, here in Texas, there's a grocery store called HEB. and I sell them truckloads of paper. They use these little yellow coupons that they hang in the store, and you pull them out. Yeah. So I'm not like Michael Scott. Like I'm not going to sell you like a ream of paper. I sell truckloads. And so I was doing that. I mean, I've done just about everything. I was a general manager of Best Buy in early 2000s. Two Best Buys actually, because I was a general manager at a Best Buy in Austin, and then they were building a store in a city in North Austin, right out of North Austin, called Georgetown, and they asked me to be the GM of that store and open it up, and I did that. And I finally got sick of the retail hours, man, working Black Fridays, you never having any time off, working 6 days a week, and sometimes like overnights. Cause like, I don't know if you know this, but in retail, they reset the stores like once a quarter. They have a team come in and kind of, reset everything, and put up new displays and things like that. And as the GM, you had to be there overnight with them, and I had nothing to do but just sit at my desk while they were working, while they were doing that. Yeah. But that was, we were living in Austin back then, and it's like a 45-minute drive to Georgetown, and so I took that job because it was more money, and then I ended up hating it. And I met a friend of mine. I was coaching his son in soccer. Our sons played together in soccer when they were younger, and I was coaching his son. And one of the players' dads came up to me and said, "Hey, I know what you do. Would you be interested in getting into paper?" And I was like, "Paper? I sell electronics. That's like the exact opposite of what I do. That's like, I could like get a stone. And that's what it felt like."
Right.
And he was like, "No, I'm telling you, paper can make you money." And I was like, "All right, I'll think about it." So he called me a few weeks later. We talked about it. And next thing you know, I ended up in the paper business, and I did that for like 16 years. And I still do it like on the side. I don't have to go to an office. I'm commissioned. I only make whatever I sell, and so it's like I can do this and that at the same time. So hopefully next year I can get rid of the paper gig, because
have you ever been called a paper boy?
No, I haven't. Now that I think about it, I've been called a lot worse.
A lot of people in the chat seem to think that you're musical in some way.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you want to go way back, yeah. I did.
Were you in Limp Bizkit?
Well, I mean, kinda.
Okay.
No. So I was in a new metal, kind of metalcore band. I was the lead singer of a band called Powderburn. That was 99.
Oh wow.
98, 99. Yeah. And we were getting pretty popular at that time. It was hard back then. I mean, like the only thing that was around on the internet was like mp3.com, and you had to wait 45 minutes to download one song, but no, there was that mp3.com used to be a pretty big download website back then, and it was worldwide, and we uploaded one song there, and it ended up being the number one metalcore song in the entire world, and I was like, uh-oh, here we go. You be careful what you wish for. Next thing you know, we're touring all the time and traveling, and
wow.
we had labels courting us, and it was a lot of good times. But we had one tour where, my son had just been born, and I never really got to see him. And my wife was, at home by herself all the time. And
yeah,
we played a show with a band called Coal Chamber. Some people might know who they are. In Los Angeles, and on a probably around, I don't know, 2:00 in the morning on Sunset Strip at the Best Western, I decided to quit my music, my whole career. I said, I'm done. I called my wife. I said, I'm taking the next plane home. I'm going home. I'm done with this. And I walked away from it, you know, and it was hard because they were, you know, friends. And we had been through so much together, traveling, I mean, all the time. I mean, you're stuck, you know, depending on where you were, you're either in a van or in a bus. It all depends. But, you know, in the beginning, it started out with the van. Those were always the fun trips. I mean, I guess you could say the craziest, who was it? Craziest? Who was that? Oh, Donnie. Yeah. So that kind of led, like, that show in LA kind of led to it, because I was laying on the bed and there was always people everywhere in the hotel rooms. There was people, you know, we'd bring people back from the shows, and of course, you know, there was people there who, you know, would bring bad habits into the room and things like that, you know. And so our roadie was like messing around with another roadie, and he threw him into the wall, and there was this big giant picture with a glass over it. Throws him into the wall. That picture gets shattered. He's bleeding like half to death. So here we are at this Best Western on Sunset Strip, and we're like, crap, we got to get him to a hospital, you know. And we're taking him down the hallway, and when we got back, there was a trail of blood from our room all the way down to Sunset Strip, all the way down to the medical center that we took him to. And after that is like when I went back to the hotel room, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done. It was fun though. We got to play with some really cool bands. I got to meet a lot of really cool people. It wasn't. I don't regret any of it, but I also, you know, I'm happy with where I'm at now. So, you know, there's
played like in San Antonio, like any clubs there, or
in where?
In San Antonio.
Oh yeah, man, we used to play the White Rabbit. I don't know.
White Rabbit. I was just gonna ask about that.
Oh my God, we used to tear that place up with who was it? A band called Low Key. Okay. But it was like LOKI, I guess, Low Key, and they were basically just like a Korn ripoff, you know, because back then everybody tried to sound like Korn or Limp Bizkit or, you know, whatever.
I saw a group called Flambuki there.
Oh really?
Did you ever hear Flambuki?
No. But no, the White Rabbit, we played a lot, and there was another one there called the something Station. I can't remember. So I can't. Yeah, there was another one, but it was mainly the White Rabbit, because back then that was like the place to play. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
I was down there like 97, 98.
No, we played the White Rabbit in 98.
Okay, that's cool.
And then we also played what is it called? I mean, we played at the amphitheater there, the Gardens. Can't remember, what does that say? Movie Rockstar is about Carrie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was telling somebody, Dan Beer to the North, when I was on his stream, I was like, if any of y'all are out there right now, just go on YouTube and search Powderburn wheelchair surfer or wheelchair crowd surfing. And it'll bring up one of the coolest videos ever, man. We were playing, it was a festival, and I want to say this was in San Antonio, to tell you the truth. It all depends, because it was either San Antonio or in Fort Hood. I can't remember, because that was like a big, like, God, man, Fort Hood was crazy to play.
Yeah, that's where I was stationed.
Yeah. We used to play a place in Killeen called Area 51. Yeah. No, but we were playing, man. There was like, oh my God, I think there's probably about 10,000 people. Wow. And as I'm in front of the mic and I'm singing, screaming basically, and look out, and there's this dude in a wheelchair and they're just lifting him up and just passing him down and he's having the best time of his life. And I was like, this is so awesome, man. And yeah, somebody got it from like different angles and stuff. So yeah, that video is on YouTube. There's videos of us playing festivals and things like that. Who's that?
That's my son.
Oh, at the Blue Banana. Dude, the place we played in LA was called the Coconut Teaser, and I think it's changed names probably about 100 times since then. You know, everything in that's everywhere. You know,
yeah.
That's just how clubs go. You know, they change owners. The guys who own it get tired of dealing with bands and rioters and being like, you know, why do they have to have 10 pounds of Boston baked beans? You know what I mean? Like, it's because we like to come out with red mouths. You know what I mean? That was just how it was, you know, but we were, and it's so funny because we were, for some reason, I mean, back then there was bands like Slipknot. I mean, there was 6 Feet Under, you know, I mean, there was all kinds of death metal bands and stuff. But for some reason we got this bad rap for, they'd say that we would incite violence. Just yeah. And I'm like, you've clearly never been to a metal show before, you know? So yeah, we played with the Misfits one time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that was in McAllen, Texas, which is near the border. And that was probably one of the craziest shows I've ever played. But it was, I can't even begin to tell you, we were just so terrible that night. I mean, we were so drunk, and no telling what else, you know. I mean, those days are long gone, you know. But yeah, so no, when we first got into town, we pull into town and we get to our hotel room and we walk in and there's 5 copies of the local newspaper, and our manager had put them there. And he said, he came in the hotel room. He said, I want you to open these up and read them. So I look at it and I look at the cover, and it's got the Misfits on the cover. And then right in the corner, it says controversial Austin band plays with Misfits tonight. And I was like, controversial? What is this? So we open it up, and then there's this long, like 3-page spread about how we incite violence and that we're, you know, people are going to get hurt and all this other stuff. And I was going, you know, and they were like, you know, I'm just sitting there going, who wrote this? You know, like, do they cover metal or do they cover like, you know, like Barry Manilow? Because you know, if you haven't been to a metal show, you'll know that people get hurt and they enjoy it. You know?
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah,
willingly enter the mosh pit.
yeah. I mean, I used to drop a lot of F-bombs, and there's a lot of F-bombs in the song, and there's a lot of, you know, serious content in the songs, but it wasn't any worse or any different than what any other metal band was doing. But for some reason, we just got labeled that, you know, and we rolled with it. We were just like, whatever. And then when people would meet us, they'd be like, oh my God, we thought you guys were like scary. And it's like, no, not at all. You know, we're cool, man. Your manager wrote it for
right. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like,
had him write it. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, but you know, we got to the show and the guy who wrote it was actually there. And after we played, he was like, can I get an interview with you? And we were like, no. No. Yeah, but no. And then you remember when there used to be USA Network?
Yep.
Yeah, so there was a show called Farm Club back then. I don't know if you remember that. It was a TV show, and it had Matt Pinfield from MTV, the bald guy that talks like that. And then the Doritos girl, y'all remember her? The red hair. They used to do the Doritos commercials. It was like real hot and would like, you know, be eating the Doritos or whatever. But she hosted it with them, and they basically showcased us on that TV show. That was our first time to ever be on national TV. They came, you know, and that was, we played with Godsmack because our bassist girlfriend was the A&R rep for Interscope Records for Godsmack. So I guess you could say she kind of got us hooked up with that. But I think I've told the story about my relationship with Godsmack not ending up well. So, but we'll just leave it at that for now.
Okay.
Let's just say that I'll put it to you like this. So the lead singer of Godsmack is Sully. He's like this tall, but I had no idea. I didn't know that. Okay. I was like, you see him on MTV, you see the videos, and of course they make you look tall, except fat guys like me, they just make you look fatter. You know what I mean? Like, you made him look like 7 feet tall, but we were on the bus, and it was the first time she was going to go introduce us to him. And when I just walked up, I mean, I didn't even think anything about it. I said, oh my God, I didn't know you were this short. Oh, that was the worst thing I could ever say.
Oh my God.
Immediately booted me off of his bus and was like, no, he can't come back on here. And I was like, what's going on? What happened? I was like, that's not what I meant. I mean, like, I was like saying, I didn't know, because I'm 6'2", and I would say he's probably 5'3", 5'2", I don't know, 5'4".
Wow. It's kind of like that scene in Elf where Will Ferrell goes, he's an angry Elf.
Yeah. And I mean, I didn't care. I wasn't the hugest Godsmack fan, but it didn't have anything to do with that.
Right.
I was just like, you meet somebody and go, man, I mean, maybe it would have been different if I would have said TV makes you look taller. I don't know, maybe that's bad too, but I got great stories. I could talk all night, but we'll save that for another night. I mean, Emo, I'm here for the Vanilla Delight. Carrie, what's the new release coming out? I can't say. I can't say what the new release is.
It could be August.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I think he's just asking when.
Oh, when's it coming out? It all depends on timing. It could be the second week in August. It could be the third week. Like I said, I sent what I feel like is the final version. Well, there's going to be 2 new scents, but one of them probably won't come out until the end of August or the beginning of September. But the first one is one that we're bringing back. That's all I'll say. And it's taken a long time to do that, just because we had to reformulate and do things. And, when you reformulate, it sucks. And then I started working with someone, an actual manufacturer, a fragrance manufacturer that can help you get to that point, to get to where the IFRA rating on it is good and all that, So I did that, and we've gone through 4 revisions, and I think this is the last one, and I sent it off, and we'll see, We'll see what happens we'll see if Ken thinks that I'm right, because I don't think I can go a 10th month of working on it.
What was your hairstyle when you were in the band?
Oh, is Dan in here? Beard of the North? He's got pictures. I had a various. Okay, so now I don't have any hair, and that's probably because of all the crap that I put in my hair. But there was at one point where I had spikes, like,
oh wow,
look like railroad spikes sticking straight up. They would use Knox gelatin to get them to do that, make them stiff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had dreadlocks. I had braids. And then I went through my phase where I had red hair, but it was just spiked, like not like the spikes, but just like a normal, like you just spike your hair up, and it all depends. One week my hair was black, the next week it was red. Sometimes it was in braids, sometimes it was dreaded, sometimes it was in spikes, sometimes it was just normal. Sometimes I'd wear a hat, but I think I put way too many products in my hair, because right around, I don't know, 29, it just started disappearing.
Yeah, Jason knows all about that.
Garrett Googled it. Did you Google the wheelchair surfer, Garrett?
All right, next question. You can only pick one out of these three, your favorite football team. The Gunslingers, Cowboys, or Texans?
Oh, it's the Texans. I'm from Houston.
That's right. Okay.
If I said Cowboys, half my friends would bum rush in here right now and choke me to death. Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, I grew up watching the Oilers.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, that was my favorite. I mean, just watching Earl Campbell and and all them, and watching that guy was crazy, man. I saw him. I was watching the game where he ripped out of his jersey, where he just ran right out. They tried to tackle him, and he just kept on going. And the guy was holding his jersey.
Yeah.
That dude's thighs were like this big around, So, but no, man. Yeah, I'd have to pick the Texans.
How about the Gamblers?
Oh my God!
Were you into the Gamblers at all with Jim Kelly?
Yeah, I did watch the Gamblers. Who was it? Jim, the quarterback who played for the Gamblers for a while. He played for the Bills.
Yeah, Jim Kelly. Yeah,
Jim Kelly. Yeah,
I think Reggie White was on that team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warren Moon. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Warren Moon.
Yeah,
Warren Moon was
when we had the
amazing.
When we had the whole Jack Pardee, the Pardee time with the run and shoot where
run and shoot.
Yeah, man, those were the days, But I can remember when watching like Steve McNair when he was still an Oiler. But and then Bud Adams moved him in the middle of the night. We went to bed with the Oilers, with the team, and woke up without one. And then it took a while to get to the Texans. I actually, who was I? Oh, I was actually watching the Raiders. I was kind of rooting for the Raiders a lot back then, like when Houston didn't have a team, like when once they got the Texans, I was like, okay, Raiders, y'all are done.
You know what's hard to believe is the Texans are like 22 years old.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it. Yeah, because like 12 years of those were David Carr throwing interceptions.
Right.
Yes.
Man, those first years were, I mean, we had some good years. They just never could get past the second round of the playoffs. It's just they always laid an egg, and that was usually because of, Matt Schaub or somebody like that who played great the entire season and get in the playoffs and just crap the bed every single time,
But yeah, Warren Moon was pretty amazing. Like he played CFL first, threw for 50,000 yards in the CFL before joining the NFL. And then, he was a top passer in the NFL for many years. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, he could sling it, and the funny thing is like, I played football at Baylor in college at Baylor University, and Warren Moon's backup was Cody Carlson. He was a quarterback at Baylor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that guy.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I think Warren Moon got hurt for one full year one time where Cody had to play like the whole season. But Cody was long, but he was before my time. I was at Baylor from 91 to 94. So we were still the Southwest Conference.
Yeah. I remember going to some football games at Baylor.
Oh, Floyd Casey Stadium. Yeah. That thing's it's now a hole in the ground. We have a brand new, well, not brand new. It's been around for about 4 years now, I guess. McLean Stadium. The food mogul, he went to Baylor. John McLean, the McLean Industries. He put in a ton of money, and they built a badass stadium. It's awesome. Like, we love going there. I like to go there just to watch us beat up on the Longhorns.
Yeah.
My whole family is Longhorns. It's funny. Like when Baylor and Texas play, it's just hilarious. It's just that whole week going up to the game is just nonstop smack talk.
Mike Outlaw Q, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
It's not. The Bears will not have a better record than the Packers, because you're going to find out that it wasn't Rodgers that owns you. It's the Packers.
Aaron Rodgers, I got to give it to him, man. There's not too many guys that can take mushrooms and play football as good as he does.
Yeah. Yeah. What I find interesting is, like, he's been practicing with the Jets all off season. He hadn't done that with the Packers in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I
Imagine
really
what
honestly
we could have been, you know? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly thought that he was just kind of done with football. That's what it kind of felt like over the last few years. Like, I'm good enough to play, but I don't want to.
Right.
That's
right.
kind of the way it seemed, But he's cool, man. I like Aaron Rodgers.
All right, last question. You can only do one thing from your bucket list. What's it going to be?
Oh man, that's a tough one. What's it going to be? I mean, I would say scale Mount Everest, but I'd make it about a quarter of the way up and die. I would like to jump from a plane, like parachute. I don't mean like just jump, like, like be that crazy guy who opens the door while everybody's flying and jump out. But I would love to parachute out the back of a plane at night with some like night vision on,
Wow.
the cool stealthy way. And then just like land in my backyard. with some night vision goggles.
Yeah. We recently had someone that said that wanted to jump out of the plane. We can get you guys together.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. My son's actually parachuted.
No.
Yeah, he's done it. But never at night. I think that's just the cool part about it. Just doing it at night. Like,
yeah,
you'd have to be super trained and super glued to your altitude, because you can't really see much going down at night, But yeah, I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Most people, a lot of people probably say rock star. I'd be like, I've already done that. It's no fun.
Right.
It's no fun.
Rappelled out of a helicopter, but never skydiving.
Oh, really?
Skydiving.
Yeah. I think it'd be kind of cool to see how long you could hold on to a helicopter when it takes off before you finally let go.
Well, we made it through the 5 questions. That's the longest it's ever taken, but
that's got to be a record
from that. Yeah. Great conversation. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I've lived a interesting life. I've done a lot of.
And we only know a fraction of it so far.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yep.
Well, I gotta save some for another show.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I won't give away everything on this one.
Speaking of giveaway, Carrie's nice enough to donate a giveaway for the show.
Yeah, my wife's not in here, so she can't hear it. It's the funniest thing. She's always like, "You got to stop." I'm like, "No, I don't."
So as Scott's warming up the giveaway machine, what are we giving away tonight?
We can let's do a Sublime Vibes oil and butter.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Sublime.
Yeah, that's a good scent, man. It's really,
What is the scent profile Sublime?
That is lime, orange blossom, jasmine, rose, vetiver, and oak moss.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's got some sweetness along with some earthiness. So that's kind of why it gives it a little bit of a cologne vibe, Mike the Outlaw hasn't tried it. You're missing out, man. You're missing out. No, I was that one. That was the first scent I'd made in a while. So, I just wanted to do something in that vein, and I pulled it off. I was excited, man. I really love it.
Doing okay, Scott?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
I think I put Scott to sleep.
No.
Let's put the Karen voice back on him.
Oh. No, I got it all sorted out. Got all the comments loaded.
Okay. All right.
All set to go.
All right.
So anyone who's made a comment in here will be entered in the giveaway. So if you're sitting in here and haven't and would like to win, you should put in a comment quick.
Oh, there's Joe T. What's up, JT? JT is super cool, man. He's got a nice beard.
Cool.
You've seen him, I'm sure. JT9.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Things like Gray and down to here. He's a huge supporter of us, man. I appreciate everything he's done for us. He was buying our products from day one. He's like the perfect example of what to do if you want to become an affiliate, man. You start out by buying the company's products and knowing that you like them first, you know. And
Well, yeah.
you know, and so for years he bought them in 3 years, and one day we just talked, and I was like, yeah, man, I think that's really cool. Yeah, you'd make a good affiliate because you're a great representation of what we do, you know. So,
yeah,
he's a good dude. They're still talking about football.
Hit the right button here.
He's one of the good ones. There's probably some people that say that's debatable.
There we go.
Here we go. LinkedIn jobs.
Yeah, you're still looking for a job.
They keep sending me jobs. I don't even look for them. I just get emails.
We're hiring. I'm actually going to hire Mark Brown. He's going to come label he's going to label our oils for us.
Nice.
I'm kidding.
He probably would.
He wants to. He wants to. So see, my wife was, she was the one who mainly did all the labeling, but she recently had surgery and it was an 8-week recovery. So I've been having to do pretty much everything on my own. And I never realized how much I hate that labeling machine until I have to do it every single time. It's the most finicky, some finicky little thing, man, but
it's got to get pretty tedious after a while.
Gary's okay. Isn't that question? See?
Okay. I'm going to roll this giveaway.
Go for it.
Ooh, Sunday Fun Day bundle. Hot dogs, junior sodas, $59.
Hey, Donnie.
Donnie.
The guy who won was literally the last comment.
Oh, jeez.
That's how it works. Is he even still back in here? Oh, there he is. Gilu hired me and fired me. All in one episode. Donnie, did you say you never win? Really? I don't know. Does he really never win? Or does he always win and he's being sarcastic?
Congrats, Donnie.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Yeah, Donnie, just, I'm pretty sure you're still on IG.
Got some Sublime coming to you.
Yeah, just you can message us there. I'm not going to make you. I usually do the whole email, the West support at definebeardco.com. But since it's you, you can message me with your address and full government name, and I'll just put Sloppy Syndicate Show. but I'm out, so I got to take it. I think you'll like this one, Donnie. It's a really nice, chill cologne vibe that's with a little bit of citrus and a little bit of sweetness and some earthiness, and it's good, man. It's good. I don't know, Mike. Did you won something recently, didn't you, or was it a while back? Which one did you win? What did you win?
I got the barbershop one recently.
Oh, okay. All right.
And which I love. And prior to that, I purchased the 1626. Is it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was my very first scent I ever made.
And that I love that. I'm wearing that today. And I bought the Aberlight Pro from you.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Everybody keeps asking me if I'm gonna carry the go-to, and I'm just like, man, I don't know. That's an expensive brush, you know. I mean, we'll see. It's not even they're not making it available to wholesalers until mid-August anyway. So, but right now, you know, we still carry the Pro. I love the Pro. I do, you know, the cord doesn't bother me. I mean, I think it's great for traveling purposes and things like that. And it's been rock solid. Corey, takes a long time. Ask Scott. I was in here for 10 minutes putting on makeup before the show. He was talking like Karen, and I was
talking to Karen.
Yeah, no, I love the Aberlight Pro. I feel like it's proven, and you know, we've always carried it, and it works well, and it's at a lower price point. But you never know. We might do it. We might start carrying that. It's just those are much bigger investments, you know, because you have to order a certain amount from them. You know, you can't just say, hey, can I buy 5, you know, Aberlights? And it's not like that, you know. So you gotta make a commitment to do it, and luckily they've been selling, so it helps. That helps a lot. Sometimes I get offended when somebody buys an Aberlight Pro but doesn't buy like oil or butter or anything. I'm like, come on, man, what? You know, but nah.
I figure they spent enough.
Yeah, they, you know, couldn't afford it after that. Yeah.
But yeah, the 1626 was my first buy, and
cool.
Yeah.
And Jason had Ace of Fades.
I gotta say, my first was a collaboration with
Define Mac.
Yeah,
the
Define Mac. It's pretty good. I
don't
have any oil left, but I had a little butter left to put in before the show.
Oh well, good, because I'm the one who made the butters. You don't need Chris's oils; you just need my butters. You're fine. Yeah. Nah. The funny thing is all I have is an oil left and not a butter. So yeah, now that was a really great scent. I love. Me and Chris talk all day, just pretty much every day, and we've discussed it. You never know; it might come back. You know, I was explaining to Scott how logistically it was kind of tough to do. Not really something that you could do year round because I'm in Texas, he's in Virginia. So you know, I would make 200 butters and have to ship them all to him, and he would make 200 oils and have to ship them all to me. And so you're adding all these extra costs into it that aren't normally there, you know, and but we've discussed it. We just, you know, we'll see what happens. That's one of the, I mean, I don't use a whole lot of other companies, but the Bearded Mac is definitely one of them, you know?
Yeah.
He's got some good stuff. I mean, I know Chris from True North was in here. I got some butter from him, and he sent me an oil too as well. Some good butter, man.
Yeah, his butter's pretty amazing.
Yeah, nice and soft, and did what it was supposed to do. Smelled great. I got the Stranger Beards.
Oh yeah.
Kind of a fun scent, like maybe like bubble gum and something, and maybe like
candy.
Yeah. No, my wife loved it. You know, she was like, "Why do you always do cologne scents? You never do these things." You know, I mean, hell, I did a food scent. You know, I just never think about it. And then when I see somebody else do it, I'm like, man, I should have done that. But been done.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's Amherst was Vato's like all-time go-to scent. He swore that he would never give up anything for Amherst, and then he got Sublime Vibes. Mark can tell you. And then Vato sends me an email. I think he was on vacation somewhere. He said he had taken Amherst with him, and he had been on vacation for about a week. And he said, I just kind of got tired of Amherst, and I started using Sublime Vibes. And he was like, "Holy crap, dude!" He's like, I just can't stop wearing this." And I'm like, "Well, good. There's two scents that you can't stop wearing, you know." Yeah, he's mad. He's mad because he didn't think that he swore Amherst would never be dethroned from him, and it happened. You know, I love making those kind of scents. I mean, obviously Ace of Fades isn't, but I'm a cologne kind of guy, so I like to do that. Not like designer cologne, but I just like to combine sweet and earthy. After Party, yeah, that's a good one too, man. That's the reason why that one's so good is because that tobacco absolute. It's so much different than just like a tobacco fragrance oil. It's really, it has that sweet leaf, that tobacco sweet leaf smell to it, and then we've got some black pepper and spices in there and stuff like that, and so it's a really good one. I enjoy it.
Danny likes After Party.
Yeah, that's the one I was just talking about. Yeah, that's a good one. I love it. Of course, I love everything I make. Deep Blue is a good one too. That one's really good. But I guess. I mean, I don't really consider it a summer scent. It is blueberry, but it also has, exotic oud, things like that. So, amber, you can never go wrong when you put amber in something. Amber, she's always in it.
Always hanging around.
Yeah. Sounds like you know your lane. You're staying in it. Yeah, man. I mean, I know what works for me, and I know my strengths and. One of the new ones that's coming out, the one I said that's going to come out after the other one, that one is not a cologne scent, but it's still, I don't know. It's not like it's hard to describe. I can't even, if I was to describe it, I'd give it away, but that'll probably be the next two scents that coming out are not cologne scents. I'll just put it to you like that. Yeah. Deep Blue is a good one. Oh yeah. Jenna helps me with those. My wife is the co-owner. And for years she never really wanted to be out in front of the scene, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
And so, but over the past 6 months, she's really kind of stepped up and been more present, and on the live stream side, and on the social media side, and. So that's been cool. But yeah, I mean, she does the accounting, and she works with our accountant. She does our books and then works with our accountant to make sure that everything's hunky dory. And then she does, labeling, and I mean, really whatever else I need, if there's something I'm behind on, she helps out, and she's good at handing out business cards. They tend to take business cards from hot chicks more than they do guys like me.
Yeah.
Summer Dream. Yeah, I know. Mark, you want to hear the funny thing about that one? This is probably one of the big. So when we make a scent, we put it in a digital file, like in a document, and we save them on a hard drive. We don't just write them on a piece of paper and just whatever. Well, that one I did write on a piece of paper, and I forgot to put it in a document, and I have completely lost the recipe. Yep. So unless I start it over, it's never coming back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I remember I was talking to Chris Mack about it. I said, you'll never believe what I did. And he was like, what? I said, I lost the Summer Dream recipe. I cannot find it. I guess I didn't put it in a document and save it with all the rest, you know. I looked through all my notes in my book. I was like, it's gone, man. It's gone. I can't find it. So, you know, and my memory sucks. I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. So I can't remember every single where I bought each fragrance that went in it, you know, and if you tattoo them, yeah, I might have to start doing that, you know. Yeah, it was tangerine. It was vanilla. It wasn't just that. There was something else in there. That's I'm sitting here going, I don't know, man. I can't remember. And it was a good scent. A Define Christmas ornament. I don't know. Maybe we'll do ornaments this year. That would be cool. I'll put my face on them and make everybody's Christmas horrible. Someone no s'mores for me. Yeah, Chris is right, man. When your better half is your partner.
That is cool. Yeah.
Because it's scary, you know, because you don't want to, because I mean, business decisions involve arguments sometimes, you know, and when you're arguing with someone who you're not married to, that argument is a lot easier, you know, but when you're arguing with someone you are married to, that's kind of why we did that thing on Instagram the other day where, you know, I was saying that guys make purchases based off sense. You know, I said no, she said, you know, shout out to all the, you know, bearded wifeys, all the wives out there. And I said, why? Because of the scent? And she goes, no, the purchase. I said, no, they have to scent. And she goes, no, they have to approve the purchase. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Not how it works. If the wife approves of the scent, you just go buy it. Just buy it.
Right.
No, the secret is I always tell my wife is I want it on a live stream.
Right.
Yeah.
Or we had them on the show, so they wanted to send us stuff. You know.
Yeah. Jason's got a separate account. So
but you do actually have something coming from a company.
Oh, yeah.
I'm being called out in the chat, by the way.
Are you? Let me see. I'm blind.
For Mrs. Bruce, and he's trying to make some s'mores.
Oh, did you have a catastrophe with some s'mores or what?
Yeah.
We've all been there. S'mores are a lot tougher to make than you think, man. If you hold them there too long, they're in the fire. They'll melt right out.
Well, she's mad because she can't make no more because Scott ate all the chocolate.
That sounds like me. Yeah. Yeah. My wife, she'll like want to make a cake, so she'll buy the cake batter and she'll buy the icing, and you know it'll be in there for like 2 days, and she hadn't made the cake yet, and I'm like opening the icing, taking like spoonfuls of it, you know. And then by the time she gets to make the cake, there's like half the amount of icing left. I'm like, sorry, I like icing more than I like cake, you know.
I was like, oh, I'll go to the store and replace them before she notices. But never get there.
That's the same with my wife. She'll buy snacks or something, and they're for her. But then they sit there, like you said, for days and days. So I'll eat one day, eat another one the next day. Where'd all my cookies go? Or where'd all this? I said, well, you bought them to eat them, not to leave them in the cupboard. So
yeah.
And I'm the same way as Scott. I figure if she wants more, I'll just go buy her some more. So.
Yeah, they do that. My wife does that, or my daughter. She'll like pick out sweets. I have a sweet tooth. She'll pick out sweets, bring them home. They don't touch them for like a week. I'm like, how do y'all do that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm usually like first night, I'm in them. You know what I mean?
That's right. You bought them. Yeah, I bring them home from the store and open them up and have a couple. And then,
See, I'm like that, Jason, like where I buy stuff and like before I even get to have it, like my whole family's eating it already. So what I started doing is just buying coffee flavored stuff so no one would touch it. I'm the only one that likes coffee in this house. So I'll get coffee flavored ice cream and it's there for months.
Yeah.
And I can enjoy it when I want.
I just pour like Cholula on it. No, they won't touch it after that.
Right.
Yeah, I've done that before, man. Like, I've had an urge for some chocolate, and I'm like, God, man, we don't have any chocolate. And then I look up in the pantry, and there's some chocolate chips, and I'm like,
oh yeah, those are the best.
Mouthfuls of them, you know.
Yeah.
We've all been in front of the fridge at 2 a.m. eating a piece of cheese. Come on now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So here's a little story. So when I went to pick up the pizza today, the one place, it's a special pizza and wings deal. So we always get 2 specials. So I go there, the pizzas were done, the wings weren't. So they come out and there was only 1 container, and I'm looking at them and he said, yeah, they're both in 1 big container. I'm like, okay. So I left and just started down the road. I didn't get that far, and my wife called. She goes, hey, how far away are you? And I said, I told her where I was. She goes, can you turn around? He checked the slip after I gave him a funny look and realized he made a double batch of the 1 flavor of wings and forgot the other flavor. Plus, she ordered cheese sticks, so I had to go back and get them. Well, I had to wait because they were making another batch of wings. So they had this, the quarter candy dispenser with the runts in them, okay? I thought, I'll go get some runts. So I put my quarter in, open, not 1 freaking banana in it. So I ate them. So I put a second quarter in, still not 1 freaking banana. I said, I'm going for it one more time. Put another quarter in, got 1 freaking banana. And I said, I spent 75 cents for 1 banana run. I should have just went to the store and bought a box. I know I'd have got some bananas in them.
Glazed donuts and Frank's. Oh yeah, I mean hot sauce. Yeah, I mean that the sweet and the spicy. Yeah, I'll put Frank's or Cholula on my popcorn. On kettle corn actually, like the sweeter.
Yeah.
But I'll be 50 and I'll be 50 next weekend actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. So as I've gotten older, the spiciness level has had to come down a little bit,
And this time of day too.
Yeah, like never eat anything spicy after 8 o'clock at night. You will wake up at 2 a.m.
So that's next weekend, you said, Carrie. Next weekend.
Yeah, well, my birthday's August 7th, so I think it's on a Monday, but they're having some kind of big shindig for me down in Houston with all my best friends that I grew up with. And
nice.
So we'll be expecting some non-bearded Carrie pics from the wife.
Yeah, I saw that. I told Dan. I said, I mean, what stream was that? That was Ken's stream. Well, yeah, that was on Ken's where she said, I'm going to bust out a picture with no beard. I told Ken, I said, ban her right now, immediately. Get her out of the chat. It's a scary thing, man. It's a scary thing. Here's the honest truth is my driver's license. I don't know how it is in y'all states, but in Texas, you don't have to go update your picture. You can renew online.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep using the same picture over and over again. So in my driver's license picture, I don't have a beard. I have a goatee because it's almost 10 years old. Because I used to go through the phase of goatee, beard, whatever, just whatever, but if she puts a picture up there of me, like not even with a goatee, that's like my biggest fear is y'all can't see my chin.
Well, that's a Ms. Bruce City. I don't think she's ever seen my chin.
My wife
I had a goatee when we met.
Yeah, that's what my wife. She's seen my chin, so she's like, "You can't ever shave your beard again."
Yeah. I've been. This October will be 13 years for me, I think.
Oh wow,
being
cool.
Married and yeah, my wife's never seen my chin either.
Yeah, it's.
Okay. But I did the same thing, goatees, and full beards. But I always kept it trimmed short. It was just, what's it been now? About 2.5 years since I started letting it go. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to always have it short or a goatee but even the goatees, I do that in the summertime. But I just got tired of shaving, so even the goatees went by the wayside probably at least 6 years ago.
Yeah, I hate shaving.
But
it was just got to be, and I was one of those guys that I tried the whole, and the straight rate. I mean, I was like, I'm not in. I just can't. This is too much dedication. I just want to either grow a beard or just shave like with just like Barbasol in a regular razor, But I would rather just grow a beard, don't do anything at all. Like I said, I'm almost 50, so I have to spend most of my time shaving my back and things like that.
Now, what do you do for your head? I mean,
I use the skull shaver.
Okay.
The Pitbull. I think it's the gold.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was a big. I used to be really against electric shavers on the head because I always felt like they didn't work, and they felt weird, So I used to actually. I would, like I said, when I would use the soap, I'd also do my head that way, and I would shave it that way. But as soon as I found the skull shaver is when I've gone to that exclusively, because you can just pick it up and do it every couple of days, and it doesn't take long at all. It takes just a couple of minutes, and it gets it pretty close. Good night, Donnie. Thanks for coming. Just message me, man. And I'm sure I have your address, but I'd rather you just send it to me so I don't have to go look for it.
But yeah, I use a Gillette 5-blade, cartridge razor. But yeah, I'm thinking about getting some electric. Now it was maybe 3 weeks ago. My wife had found this other barber shop and they did head shaves, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go get one done with a straight razor. I get way closer than they do, because when I shave my head, I go against the grain, I go I go every which way. Like, I don't have a sensitive skin on my head, so I just go all over, and it's baby smooth.
Oh yeah.
That straight razor was just. It was close, but if I rubbed it the one way, I could feel stubble.
Yeah, like Gary.
It's the experience, of the hot towels and stuff. And
I did use, like Gary's talking about, the head blade. It was like a little Hot Wheel car with a blade on it, Yeah. I remember back when, I used to watch MMA like crazy, and head blade sponsored was like a huge sponsor. I can still remember seeing it in the Octagon, the logo, the like logo. So I tried it, and I did use that for years, like the head blade, and I would use their head lube, I think is what they called it. But then I eventually just started saying, why am I spending so much money on these blades? Because they didn't last very long, I would be one of those guys that would wait way too long before I shave my head, like a week, and instead of every
yeah.
Yeah, if you do that, you'll go through blades in a hurry, But yeah, no, now with the skull shaver, man, I just pick it up every few days, and just get it. Maybe takes 2 or 3 minutes and I'm done. You know, and the good thing about those are you can do them dry or you can do it in the shower. You know, so to me, I think it feels better in the shower. I just never do it in the shower. I'm always doing it. It's weird. I say it feels better when you do it in the shower, but then I always do it before I get in the shower because I like to make sure I got everything when that water hits your head. You know what I mean? Like, thankfully, I'm trying to get long enough to qualify for this class. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to a beard competition with him in September.
Yep.
Is that the one y'all were talking about on the
Nashville?
Educated Beards? Was it? Oh no, it was the one before that. I think the Moonshine.
The
Moonshine
one, yeah.
Moonshine Classic,
Nashville.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, hell, man, Moonshine and beards. That sounds like a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah,
especially the Moonshine.
Do you like bourbon, Carrie?
Oh yes.
Do you know where Bernie, Texas is?
Oh yeah, that's right near San Antonio. It's about 40 minutes from here.
This company here is from Bernie.
Sisterdale?
Yeah, that's my favorite bourbon.
Wow, I can't believe I haven't had that. I'll have to try it. Yeah. No, Bernie is cool. It's like right in between New Braunfels and San Antonio. I drink. Have you ever heard of TX?
Mm-mm.
That is a good bourbon. Well, they have two kinds. They have whiskey and then they have bourbon. You know, because most people don't realize those are two different things.
Right. Yeah. See, I don't like whiskey. I hate whiskey. I just want to puke when I drink it, but bourbon, I love it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Their bourbon's got these vanilla notes to it, but not like, you know how people are when they just describe bourbon. It's like when you say vanilla, people think you're talking about like, you know, a vanilla shake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not what I mean. Just you get vanilla notes from it. So I'm choking over here thinking about bourbon.
That is a good one.
Yeah. Actually, I need to write that down. Sisterdale. Yeah. I don't even have a pen. What the hell?
Yeah.
I make beard products. I don't write.
Yeah, we had some when I went out to Wyoming and visited Mike.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, no, TX is made, I want to say between Waco and Dallas, around there, their distillery. But I've been drinking that for a while. You know, we all got into the screwball phase, but that's not real whiskey. But I used to drink, God, I could drink like a whole bottle of screwball. And then pay the price for it the next day. But you just feel like it's just so smooth and it doesn't, because there's hardly any liquor in it. That's why you got to drink the whole bottle, you know?
Yeah.
People tell me, hey, we're taking shots of screwball. I'm like, shots? Pour a 32-ounce glass of that stuff and give it to me.
Tara has a question. I've never waxed my head, although one time when I was younger, I shaved my head once. This is when I still had hair, but I shaved it anyway. I thought about trying that Nair. Remember Nair?
I did that. Remember I told you that story.
Did you do it really?
Yeah.
How did it burn?
Not really. Like,
it just stank, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't Nair like smell bad?
It's got a smell.
Yeah. I mean, it stung a little, but yeah.
So you put it on and then like later the hair is just gone, or what? Is that how it works?
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
It was in high school. I played basketball, and that was like the thing for a season. We all had bald heads. So,
yeah.
But Jason, you didn't go through it, huh?
No, I never did it. Did it? How long did it last? I mean,
I don't think it lasted that long. It just helped remove the hair. Like, it just helps remove it, but it doesn't like keep it gone.
Well, according to Mike, you're not supposed to put Nair on your balls. I remember those commercials when I was a kid. Nair for short shorts.
Yeah.
Nair for. Yep. And I mean, I have a sister. You know, both her and my mom. I can remember back in the 80s, 90s, you know, there's in the cabinet, there was always Nair. I definitely never tried it though. Brutal. Oh, really? Damn. People will make people will make anything these days. Like, can you imagine sitting around and being like, "Hey, I want to make a Nair, but for balls."
That just doesn't even sound comfortable.
I know. Scared me to death.
Nads?
Yeah. Yeah. Teabagging Nair.
Oh my Lord.
Not for balls, yeah. Yeah, Mark is definitely walking the tightrope there, man.
Emo. Oh man.
What do you say? I've used both Nair.
Magic shave.
On the old eggs.
Okay, so let's say $50 to the first guy who uses the skull shaver on his balls. All right, I've already tarnished your show here, haven't I? Sorry, I tend to do that.
Oh,
so what would the skull
worries.
shaver do? Is that just too sharp for the balls?
I would think that it would not be great.
It would not turn out well.
Yeah, because that hair down there tends to be longer than what you're shaving off of your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Might get a little tuggage, a little pulling, plucking. You know.
So Ken says,
I've had my back waxed before.
Yeah, that I've done.
That was interesting. Dropped a lot of F-bombs during that was getting done.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, I know. I was like, she's probably sitting there going, well, great. Now we have a mental picture of Carrie using the skull shaver in that area. Screaming.
Oh man.
Well, I don't think you got to worry about Ken doing any videos on that.
No. Yeah, no, I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I really think it was Ken who got me into the skull shaver. He kind of made me a believer. You know, like I said, I was kind of against electric shavers for the head, and then I had bought a cheap one, or no, my wife gave me a cheap one. She was like, "Just try it," and I was like, "Yeah, I don't like this." And then I tried the skull shaver, and I was like, "Oh, this is way different. This feels a lot better, a lot more smooth. Doesn't feel like it's just yanking hair out, you know." And so I stuck with that. I've been going with it ever since. Easy cleanup. Got this little tray. You just set it in, and it puts the blades in water. You turn it on for like 10 minutes and cleans it all out. The first 3 times. I think I've done it twice. So maybe I should do it one more time just so it won't hurt anymore. He said, no, that video will not happen. I mean, how could we make it happen, Ken? Though, tell us. Like, tell us. What can we do, man? I mean, I'd be willing to donate, start a GoFundMe or something. I don't know. A GoFundMe to get
petition change.org.
Yeah.
That's how I got Jason onto Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facebook is an interesting place, man. It's funny because if you look at our social media platforms, Instagram is the one that gets the most traction. Facebook is, I don't know. I mean, I'm not talking about ads. That's a totally different ballgame. I'm talking about just having our page on Facebook. You know, the same post on Instagram that gets 90 likes and all kinds of interaction on Facebook will get like 6 likes and no comments. You know, it's like I guess it's just a different demographic, and TikTok, I mean, is just a hit or miss. We'll post something that'll get, you know, so if you want to go with views, you know, gets 5-digit views, you know, 10 or 20,000 views and 3,000 or 4,000 likes, and then the next video is like wah wah wah, 3 likes. Nobody even said anything. You know, it's like, yeah, I don't know how to do it, but we're trying to get a little more involved in TikTok. But I have my opinions on TikTok. Yeah, I don't know what value TikTok brings to the beard industry, I guess you'd say.
Yeah,
because, you know, it's there. I mean, I'm not saying it's not, you know, but it just doesn't seem like it gets that reach like it does on Instagram as far as beard content. I mean, if you want to watch a girl inhale a Jolly Rancher and jump off a building or something, you know, like TikTok's the place to be, you know. But yeah, if you just want beard content, it's hit or miss.
Yeah. So Bob Baker, he's done pretty well on TikTok, but that's with the mustache, you know, just the mustache, not the beard. But yeah, I can't think of anyone with like beard content that's done as well as he has.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because I know he has, because I mean, when we first started a TikTok, because I was so against it. I was like, and my daughter just kept hounding me like, you got to put your business on TikTok. I was like, okay. So I found him. I saw him, and then Matt Beard Laws.
Oh yeah, Beard Laws. Yeah.
You know,
but I think he even does better on Instagram. Beard Laws.
I think so.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah. You know, and I saw them, and pretty much other than those two, it was like companies.
Right.
You know, there's just not a whole bunch of it on there, you know. So I try to do little quirky things, you know, like the one I had the other day with the dude loading the rocket into the rocket launcher, and it just went poof, like, and then comes back down on him, breaks off into a transition of butters, you know what I mean? Like, you just keep making videos. TikTok is like this. You just keep making videos until you hit one.
Right.
You just can't take it like, you know, oh, it only got 2 likes. You know, it's like, no, that one just didn't work. Move on. Do another one. You know, I mean, that's pretty much how most algorithms work. You know, the more you do, the more you put out there, the more you end up in the algorithm, you know. So
yeah,
we're trying to get a little more involved in social media. We've stayed out of the for a while. I tried to stay behind the scenes as much as possible. I think a lot of people took that as me being like snobby or something, you know, and it wasn't really that. We just got busier, and I just got, you know, I mean, my company was turning into what I wanted it to be. And, you know, the first year I was in business, I had all the time in the world to talk to everyone, you know, I mean, and now it's just like, I have to make time, you know, it's usually just the end of the day, you know, in the evening is when I can get on social media. But lately my wife's been forcing me to be on there during the day. I'll have to like stop what I'm doing and make a video. Okay, fine. I was like, I don't even know why you need me in the video. You can make the video and it'll get 100 likes. You know what I mean? I want to see you, not me.
Yeah, I still don't get Facebook. I mean, before, when I'd get an alert saying that it was somebody's birthday, then you could just click a thing. Now, these last couple of days, like with Russ, and even the other day with Michaels and Russ, and today with Ken and another friend I follow from local, it didn't have that where you could just click a happy birthday message. I'm like, are they changing shit every fucking day? Every day?
Yeah. No,
I noticed that too, Jason. I noticed that too, because like yesterday was my wife's birthday plus 3 of my cousins, and none of them would pop up. Like that's weird. Like
yeah. Facebook is it's a weird thing, and they make it. I feel like they make it hard for you to find content on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're looking for like everybody's like family beach vacation photos,
Right.
you'll find a million of those. But if you're looking for beard content, the only way you're really going to find it is for the ads that scroll across your screen. I mean, you can follow groups and things like that, but I'm the type of guy that I cannot have all those groups clogging up my feed. You know what I mean? I can't keep up with them. But I don't get on Facebook that much. I mean, I do on my personal page. I'll get on there every now and then, but my wife tags me in everything that she does because she's on it all the time. So I'm just like, okay, well, she's basically running my Facebook account for me. So I get tagged in all the family photos, and then I'll put up a meme, and that's about it, and then 2 weeks later I'll pop another meme up, and there's people in here who follow me on my personal page on Facebook, and kind of get to see my family life behind the scenes. But I enjoy Instagram the most. Instagram and YouTube. I mean, that's kind of my thing, I'm definitely not going to do Threads. That was like pretty much dead on arrival. I like how they were like, oh, the Twitter killer, and like even Mark Zuckerberg, he posted once and didn't even use it again for like another week, and it's like, you made the app and you don't even use it, I was like, dude, when Jack started Twitter, he was on it every day, and of course now we know that Jack had some secrets about Twitter, but
bring MySpace back.
Yeah, that was, oh my god, when you could have music on your page. Yeah, that was like that was like the goth emo era. MySpace. You want to hear something funny? That video I was telling you about with the wheelchair crowd surfer. It's so funny because I think the beginning of the video, it says something like, because we were playing the Jaegerfest, we were sponsored by Jägermeister and Budweiser, and it said the most exciting time of Jaegerfest was during Powderburn's set, and then they show the wheelchair crowd surfer and all that, and at the very end of the video, when the video's over, it says myspace.com/Powderburn. That's how long ago it was. I was like, oh my god, I remember we had a MySpace page. There was nothing else.
Yeah,
you were cool if you had MySpace, and definitely if you had Tom as your friend.
Right.
Mike's been trying to get a hold of Tom.
Yeah, I need to reset my password, and they won't get back to me.
Yeah, how and the thing is like Tom forced himself on you when you joined Facebook. He was your first friend. It's like, I didn't ask you, Tom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go make another social media site where you force yourself on someone.
And having your top 3 or your top 8 on MySpace. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a tough one because you didn't want to piss all your friends off.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's going to make my top 8?
Yeah, and you get the messages. How come I'm not in your top 8? I'm like, because you're a dick. I mean, that's why. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. MySpace was cool. I mean, you could put the wallpapers.
Yeah.
The music players, the video players, what I mean? So many of them, except back then it was on like dial-up, so it took a while to load. That AOL disc was struggling.
Right.
Yeah, most of my Facebook posts are just my Instagram posts. They just
transferred over. That's what I do.
Yeah. Make them go over.
Yeah, it's funny because all of our Instagram posts are forwarded to Facebook, and if it has a tag in it, if it says thanks to whoever or whatever, but they're not on Facebook. So when you look at the post on Facebook, it just has like at somebody, but it's not linked to anyone. It's like, who is this person? Never mind. Yeah.
But if they go from Instagram to Facebook, why doesn't Facebook go the opposite way as well?
I don't know. I have no idea. why doesn't he use his new platform too? You know what I mean? Like, because he knows it's boring.
Well, on Threads, I get in my feed all this stuff that I've never followed.
Yeah, yeah. I heard that, and I also heard that if you start a Threads account and you delete your Threads account, and I don't know if this is true, but I did read this. People were saying that when they signed up on Threads, and I guess you can sign up through your Instagram account or use the same name, I guess is what it is. It just kind of ports it over.
Yeah.
If you delete your Threads account, it'll delete your IG account too.
Really?
So you might want to look into that before you delete it. But yeah, I mean, do we really need another social media platform? You know, it's like, I mean, I guess you could always. Is there something better? It's all the same. I mean, damn.
It's pretty much a copycat. It's not like it's something new.
Yeah, exactly. And I heard Twitter, they're changing their name to X, I think is what it is.
Yeah, like a SpaceX.
After his child.
Yeah. But isn't Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk gonna fight for charity?
That's what I heard.
I think that would be really cool. You know, Zuckerberg, as much as he gets ripped on for, man, that guy, you know, he actually does train to fight. Like, yeah, he's done it a lot. I don't know how much Elon Musk has done it. I'll have to ask him. They just moved to Austin. I'm kidding. I have no contact with Elon Musk at all. They did just build a huge Tesla plant here in Austin.
Yeah,
it's really cool. But you know, I'd love to see those two guys fight, and I'd be disappointed if Elon lost. Oh yeah, Big Stu said he heard the same thing about Threads, man. Yeah, because I've read stories of people seriously pissed because they had like years and years of followers from IG, and when they said, you know, Threads is kind of lame, they deleted their account and their IG was gone.
I wouldn't delete it. I just probably wouldn't use it.
Yeah, just leave it there.
Just leave it sit there.
Mark is ripped compared to Pudgy. Yeah, I mean, Elon, you know, he's drinking that fine wine and all the other stuff, but I'm sure they'll all get trainers, some kind of, you know, expensive trainers and work up to it. But, you know, that'd be cool. They do it for charity, you know, whatever. Zuck, no, yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Yeah, because I've seen him, like, and he can surf too. And I hate, you know, I mean, it's like, man, I can't stand Facebook, but I also respect the guy for, you know, what he does. Even if he does look like an alien, I'm pretty sure he's a hologram, but I don't know. You know, we'll see.
Well, Facebook was never designed to actually be what it is.
Yeah.
It was just supposed to be a college project.
Yeah. And you remember that the leaked messages that he had when he first started, where he said he just got all the data from like Harvard or something. I can't remember what it was. And they said, how'd you get it? And he's like, the dumb mofos just gave it to me. What a bunch of idiots. You know? It's like, oh yeah, we're the idiots, aren't we?
Right.
We gave you all our information. Where is this fallen related to black belt? Can't scare off a future god. MySpace, man, that was the crab walk days where the bands did the crab walk with their guitars, you know, like those were the days, man. White, blue, purple, brown, black. Did somebody say BJJ? Damn. Yeah, I won't be starting a Threads account. I mean, I just don't want another social media account. And I don't even know, are businesses on Threads? Or is it just people?
I think it's just people.
No, there's businesses on there.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's when my wife's going to force me to do it. Wouldn't that be great when I say, I'm sick of threads and I delete it and my Defined Beard Co. IG goes away? That would be horrible. Your college is still linked to Facebook. College email. Oh, yeah. Is that what? Yeah. A lot of times when you link your college email, you can get things for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crab core. That's right. Attack. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what MySpace was. Crab core. Those dudes, watching them all do it in sync, like together, like the little crab thing that they would do with their guitar. It was cool. Are we moshing? Sure. I don't know, man. I might get accused of inciting violence. No moshing. Yeah, not at this age. I'll be 50, so I'm done with moshing. I can remember the days of actually jumping in the crowd. That was the fun part. Now, if I did that, I'd pull 6 muscles and probably break a rib. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to love moshing. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, before I was in the band, you know, of course, I went to shows, just like everybody else, and I would do it. And seeing it from up above is like the coolest thing ever, man.
Yeah.
And getting people to do it is the coolest thing ever. You know, it's like
it's that weird. Like, I think looking at it, it looks like, why would you do that? But like, I just think feeling it, like feeling the pain of an elbow going into you, it's just like and the music going, of course, it's just like,
adrenaline flowing.
If I did it now, I'd probably have some broken legs and
yeah. Dude, I pull a muscle just leaving the lab at the end of the day, you know. I'm just like, I'm back. I always tell my wife that, you know, like last week before the Commands Corner show, I had to make a couple hundred oils and a couple hundred butters, and she decided to go on vacation with my daughter. And I was like, you're gonna leave me here to do this all? Okay, I see how it is. And so like every day I'd sit there and text, like when I was done, I'd be like, oh, my back, my knees, my neck sucks, you know, like you suck on vacation and leaving me here. I had to use the label machine. Well, it's the label machine isn't bad when you're just like doing one cent, but when you're like when you're doing all of yours, you know, when you're like doing 8 or 9 of them, you have to keep changing the freaking roll out, you know, and then get it lined up perfectly again, and then finally get it. And it's like, damn, this machine, man. Hey, breed yeah, that's right. I mean, how come nobody ever accused Jamie Josta of inciting violence? What the hell? Why did they just hate on me? Just north of Los Angeles? You ever been to North Hollywood? It's not a nice place. It's not the Hollywood you know.
Yeah.
When I fart, I pull a muscle. Yeah, that's how it gets.
I was thinking sneeze, but whatever works.
Yeah, the days of festivals were. I mean, they still have them, but man, Warped Tour, those were cool.
I used to go to Lollapalooza when they used to tour.
Yeah, Lollapalooza, that was another one. Yeah. I think the music industry's taken a big hit because artists realized that they could do things independently and make more money.
Yeah.
Mm.
And most of the successful ones nowadays, that's how it went, you know, and they recorded their albums in their homes. And because when I was in music, everything went through somebody first, a producer, this, you know, an engineer, and you had to pay them. You didn't, you know, they say, you know, you sign this and you get this much money. but you also have to use this money to hire your producer, hire your engineer, get the CDs pressed, and do everything. It's like, well, okay, well, now there's nothing left.
Right.
What do? You tour. That's how you make money. Because if you're not selling 1 million records, the only way you're going to make money is to tour.
Yeah, and now like you're not selling any records, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who's buying CDs, records? I mean, or even MP3s? Like you're not selling anything. It's just there for you to take.
Yep. It's you pay what, $9.99 a month, and you get all the music you want, you know. And I still don't understand how that works. I mean, I just don't. I mean, I don't understand how there's enough money to go around. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Or how they base, who they're paying.
I guess they could probably measure or track how many plays each song gets, and then divvy up the royalties. But still, like, I can't imagine it's. I don't know. I guess they're making money because they're still coming out. So.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
they're definitely making money. That's for sure. Yeah.
It's just different though. Way different than 30 years ago.
No, I really, from somebody who had to deal with labels and deal with the crap. Yeah. I enjoy watching all the younger artists being independent, right, and not just signing their life away, because that's all we ever did back then. That's all I mean, it was like, if you wanted to make it, you're going to have to give up something. And now it's like, if you want to make it, you don't have to give up something. You can do it yourself. You record it in your house, you put it on Spotify, Apple Music, and everything else, and cut the middleman out. What's up, Tyson?
Hey.
Who's still paying off their Columbia House membership?
Still getting the things in the mail. The one penny cassettes.
Yeah, 12 tapes for 1 penny, man.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Yep.
Yeah, those were good times, man. I can remember, like, when you couldn't get like Thrasher magazine in the store, you had to have it sent to your house. As far as, like, I was into skateboarding when I was a kid. Trans World and Thrasher, all those magazines, that was like the thrill of, like, when I was a kid. I loved going to, there was a place in Houston called Surf House, and you could get custom vans there. They would, like, order them for you, like, you'd just pick your colors. And back then we wore the high top vans. That was like the cool thing, the high tops. Now I wear nothing but, if I'm not wearing Hey Dudes, I'm wearing slip-on Vans. That's pretty much it. I'm serious, man. My wife is like, "You've got to stop buying Vans and Hey Dudes," and I'm like, "No, we just need to buy a rack to put in the closet so I can get more."
Sound like the Doc Martens.
Yeah, pays $400 per 100,000 plays.
Oh.
That seems like a crappy amount of money for 100,000 plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, they're still ripping people off, just digitally this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Instead of Napster.
Yeah. Yeah, back in the day, it was like, if you didn't sell a certain amount of albums, then you owed a ton of money to somebody.
Wow.
Yeah, it was rough. I guess it's better than owing somebody, though, if it's digital and, 400. I mean, I would just think that, man, 100,000 plays, you only give me $400? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess that's from an artist's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tyson, I'm telling you, it's like Hey Dudes and Vans. That's all I ever wear. Mostly Vans. I wear Hey Dudes around the house and just when I'm chilling, but I got all kinds of colors of Vans. Man, that's terrible. That's not a great ratio.
That's not even 4 cents a stream. That's
yeah. Well, what I was going to say was, like, when I was in the music business, they called it points. and those were basically pennies. And they would say, you get 3 points off the sale of this song, and you'd be like, oh, great, 3 cents. In 175,000 years, I'll be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Flip flops and Birkenstocks. My wife wears Birkenstocks. My daughter wears Crocs and socks. Apparently, that's like the new thing for. She's 13. Yeah, socks and Crocs, and cracks me up. I'm like, well, at least you won't get the sunburned circles on your feet. Yeah, Joe Rogan makes plenty of money, but now these guys are getting like deals up front, moving from one platform to the other, and everything. So,
yeah, now he's got his own comedy club. And
yeah. Oh, yeah. He's actually here in Austin now. That's where he lives. Yeah. Yep. He turned what we used to call the Ritz. It was a club on 6th Street or down off of 6th Street, but now it's called the Mothership, and it's his comedy club. And man, he's got like. Yeah. He's had Chappelle in there. He's got all the good ones, and it's kind of funny because Austin is the exact. Most of those people down in downtown Austin hate people like Joe Rogan. So. But they can't stop it because there's just too many people that like it.
Yeah.
Well, and he's recruiting more people to come in, and more people.
Oh yeah. Have y'all ever watched Tim Dillon, the comedian? You got to look up Tim Dillon. Joe Rogan has him on his show quite a bit, but he roasts everybody, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Yeah, whoever thought the host of Your Biggest Fear would be this big?
Fear Factor.
Yeah, Fear Factor. Yeah.
Yeah, Gary said it. Yeah, Austin's not a Rogan-friendly area. Not really, They pretty much it's not really their thing, but they just can't stop it. I mean, it's just too big, and
it's just going to keep growing. The more comedians, the more people he brings in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's so many. I mean, it's like I feel like the last 3 or 4 years, like the corporate media has tried their best to silence comedians, and it's like, man, comedy has always been the best form of therapy. You know what I mean? It's like we all need to laugh, and it's just jokes. Get over it, and you just can't tell anymore these days because we don't even need parody websites anymore because you can just read the New York Times or anything. You can't tell if it's parody or what, you're like, what editor approved this? Like this is garbage, so it is what it is. We just try to stay out of that.
Oh, yeah.
We try not to get too political, in the business side of things.
Oh yeah.
But you could probably tell by the patch on my hat what my political opinions are.
Yeah.
Here in Texas, you wouldn't be Texan if you didn't own a pew pew, or 10. It's same probably where you are, Mike. Yeah. I mean, it's, I don't know, kind of Texas and that goes hand in hand,
Oh yeah. I remember when I first moved down there, seeing all the shotguns in the pickup windows, and
yeah, I remember those days. Yeah.
I remember, when I was in high school, all the kids had gun racks in their trucks, and there'd be a rifle in it because after school they'd be going hunting.
Yeah, rural Pennsylvania is like that. Yeah. Back in the day, it was.
Yeah. Nowadays, you can't do it because somebody will break in and steal it.
Right.
Back then you could just leave it and it was no big deal. But Ken, did you just say you're all Ruger? We're gonna have a chat after the show.
Oh boy.
Is that the Ruger logo?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes, it is.
I knew that was coming.
Wow. I mean, I don't know why, man, but I've just always been a SIG fanboy. You know, the SIG community is, it's toxic. Yeah.
I won a SIG one time, and I think it was a 226, and it was 9mm. And I had
Yeah,
another
the
pistol.
P226.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and I had another pistol. I think it was I think it was a Glock, but the Glock was chambered in a 357 SIG. And I was getting into sporting clays.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine had an over and under shotgun that I was borrowing from him, and talked about selling it, and I said about trading. I said I had two brand new pistols that I never shot. I had that SIG 9mm and I had that Glock 357 SIG. I said, you can have your pick. He picked a SIG, and I wish I wouldn't have done that. I should have just bought that gun outright. But yeah, so now I don't have my SIG anymore.
Yeah, I got just about every version of the P365. I've got the original, the little micro. I mean, I'm talking tiny. It's like a 3.1 inch barrel. But then I got the XL, and I got the X macro. And I got the SAS, the SIG anti-snag, which is basically doesn't have any sights on top. It's got what do you call it? Tritium, the glowing. Yeah, but it's built into the slide, and it's just too much to like. I'm just like not used to it, you know what I mean? So I hardly even use that. But I got a Smith & Wesson too, Shield Plus. That's a good one. My wife has the Shield EZ because she got weak wrists, so she can cock that one.
Yeah, we bought my wife one of those about a year ago now.
Yeah, it's perfect for her, man. She loves it. When I feel it, I'm just like. I'm like, wow, man. They should just make all of them like this. Why don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, why don't they? So yeah, it's been a passion of mine for a long time. And I mean, everybody thinks that down in Texas that we're just like carrying guns everywhere. You might see someone carrying one. I mean, like when I say carrying, I mean like an AR. You'll see some fool like that. But I conceal. I don't ever want anybody to know that I have anything on me, So,
right.
And, it's. I feel like if you carry outside the waistband, you're just saying you're also a target, because if there is somebody, if there is somebody bad who's about to do something, they're gonna take you out first, dude. But yeah, no, I've got a couple of ARs. I got a 300 Blackout. I got a 5.56. We just like to do that, It's just fun to go out to the range and blow some steam off, You hope you never have to use it in any place other than the range.
Right.
I mean, that's not why we have them.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's lunatics out there that are like that, but I'd say 90% of us are responsible in Texas, with it, and we don't want that right taken away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, you want to be able to defend yourself from them crazies that are out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've had 3 armed gunmen break into our house before.
Wow.
That happened last year. So until it's happened to you, that's how I always see when I see somebody who's so against it or whatever, and I'm like, until you've had something like that happen to you, you'll change your mind. You'll change your mind. It's always better to be prepared, to be safe, but that's it.
Yeah, there's just, I mean, there's sometimes I go to I go places like it might even like a fair or anything. And I'm like, you know, you never think this stuff could happen to you, but it happens everywhere all the time where somebody gets a bug up their ass and decides they're going to do something stupid. And I'm like, I want to be able to protect my family and others if I have to.
Yeah.
So if I'm ever in that situation, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, could I get in trouble? Yes, I could get in trouble. You hear about all the time, but that's what those groups are for that you can join, like the USCCA and stuff, you know.
Oh yeah, that's who we have our insurance through, our carry insurance. You know, me and my wife, we have USCCA, and you know, I donate to GOA as well, and you know, I mean, I try to support that part of it as much as I can. You know. Shade is right. In Texas, we are a stand your ground state.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you come in somebody's house in Texas and trying to break in or whatever, you probably lose your life. But the only problem is we were asleep. They were in our house before we even knew it. So it was like the element of surprise was gone. You know, they pretty much had us. You know, and before I could even get to anything. So. That's when we got an alarm and cameras and all the other stuff. Because I mean, like I said, I don't ever want to have to do that.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So having that as the last line of defense is the best thing, you know, having cameras and security that, you know, you can prepare, you know? So yeah, my house is heavily fortified with cameras now all the way around and in the garage and, you know, I mean, I have a camera in the lab. I mean, it's just, to me, it just makes me feel better. It means that, you know, I don't want to have to do that if I don't have to, but you know, what do they call it? FAFO? FAFO? F around and find out.
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Which pew pew is a part of your life? When pew pew is a part of your life, you understand. Yeah, exactly. Yep. It's all about being responsible with them and training. Like, don't be one of those guys that gets one and then doesn't use it for a year. You know what I mean? The biggest thing you can do is, we're sitting here talking about guns on a beard show. Good Lord. You reach that point. No, the biggest thing you do is train pulling out of your holster, you know, from your inside the waistband holster, not outside, inside. Yeah. Because it ain't the same. It's a lot harder. I mean, you got to get under the shirt. You got to get in there. You know, you just got to get comfortable with what you got. But luckily,
you got to get your gut out of the way.
Yeah. Well, I carry 4 o'clock, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Man, I cannot appendix carry because I just have a big fear of blowing my you-know-what off. Yeah, I mean, and that's probably one of the most common ways that guys are carrying these days, you know, and I'm like,
yeah,
you guys are brave, man. You're brave with I don't ever want a barrel facing my junk, you know.
Right.
Yeah, Tyson's right, man. The cameras are the best thing because you know, you got cameras, you got an alarm, and we have these, you know, basically now we have these buttons that press that go right to the alarm company, you know. I mean, and the alarm will go off like if you know, we ever didn't wake up again, or we didn't, I mean, the alarm would go off this time. We just didn't have one back then. But yeah, we got buttons we can push there. It goes right to them and they call the cops. And luckily we're in Buda, so they show up, and they're not like the Austin police officers. They don't let any criminal go in Buda. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. In Austin, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want, and the DA will let you off. He doesn't care. you know. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Pretty much like that here.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense, you know, putting them right back out on the street again. Like, yeesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no deterrent for them now, you know.
Yeah.
You see these videos on Instagram and stuff of these people looting Walmarts and Targets and stuff, and I'm like, well, I'm not getting down a political.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
We're not.
Yeah. I mean, even talking about this is making me feel a little iffy, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not anything we hide, you know? I mean, hell, like there are people in the chat, you know, there's a lot of supporters there as well, you know? So they're there. If you don't like them, you don't like them. That's fine. You know, you don't have to have one if you don't want, you know? I mean, we choose to have them. And
but this is going to be the only political thing I say, but we will not push it down your throat.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. All we ever wanted was to be left alone. That's it. You know, we have a lot of bureaucrats who make decisions for us that what right do they have to even make for us, you know? So,
yeah.
So I guess, but that's in every industry, you know? But it is what it is. All right, back to beards.
Oh, that's happened before.
My brother's a firearms instructor and a collector. Yeah. Man, the website, I can tell you this, I wish Shopify would stop updating their freaking admin panels and their apps and stuff. They just keep making it, I don't know, it's just like one of those things where it wasn't broke. What are you doing, guys, man?
Yeah.
They're constantly trying to give it a refresh, you know, and then you can't find what when you get used to, you know, going to the same spot every day and then they move it and you're like,
yeah,
what? Wait, where is everything? You know? And so it's the website thing is not fun. I thought this was turning into the commission for a second.
I don't think there is a commission tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
No, he thought the topic was turning into.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they've had 2 updates in 2 weeks. I'm like, make up your mind, Shopify. Jeez, man. Pick a theme, pick a style, pick what you want. But it was the app part, because I rely on the app just to make discount codes on the fly. Make sure that if anything's out of stock, if something goes out of stock, I can, and you know, and I'm not around, you know, or not around a computer, I can change it. Well, when they did the update like 2 weeks ago, all the products wouldn't load, and I'm like, what if this is out of stock? I can't see. So I had to go to a computer to do it. And then now they've finally updated again and got that fixed. But yeah, they update one thing and break another. Yeah. I guess that's the story of all updates, you know, like Apple with, you know, their critical updates. And then next thing you know, they're like a day later, oh, well, here's a critical update to the critical update.
Right.
Update broke everything else, you know?
Yeah.
Shopify doesn't.
So I guess
they don't run our website, but we use Shopify. Yes. We use their platform.
So I'm guessing that just answered that question. You're an Apple iPhone guy.
Yeah, I'm an iPhone guy, and I told Scott before the stream that we just switched everything here for our business to MacBooks.
That's smart.
Yeah, and I couldn't find where to change the volume. I was like, "Hey Scott, how long have you got a MacBook?" You know, because I mean, most of the stuff I do on it doesn't really require volume, you know. But and I finally found it. But yeah, no, we just switched everything to MacBooks. I mean, our home is an Apple home. It's Apple HomeKit. That's what we use, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, our whole house is automated, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, no, we're Apple people. Jason's a Droid guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. What about Mike?
Oh, Apple.
Scott?
Apple all the way since
Apple now.
2010.
Apple. Do you feel left out here, Jason?
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have to deal with the green text.
Green
Yeah,
bubbles.
the green, yeah.
Yeah. That's what me and my wife do. We're like if our phone's sitting on the table and a text comes through and it's a green bubble, and we'll look at each other and go, "Who has green bubbles?" You know. Well, I mean, the thing about Android is you never know if your text went through or not. I tried an Android phone once. I tried one of the Galaxy S21 or something. I can't remember which one it was, but because I have two phones, and so that was my way of like. He's got off Facebook. Leave him alone. No, that was my way of saying, okay, I'll try Android, but not get rid of Apple too.
All right.
So I kept an iPhone and I got an S Galaxy, whatever it was. And as soon as the year was up, I canceled the Android. I was like, no, man, I don't want this. You know, I think Apple is just easier to use, but that's a fight for another day. I'm sure that'll start a lot of crap.
Yeah, we're like I can say, Alexa, turn off office light.
Okay.
Ooh.
Guess what? Hey Siri, turn off warehouse.
Wow.
Alexa, turn on office light.
Okay.
Hey Siri, turn on warehouse.
Oh yeah. Well, how about this?
Oh, the clapper.
What if they actually worked?
The original smart home, the clapper.
Yeah.
The original smart home, yeah.
Yeah, no, we've tried them all, man. We tried the Google Nest or whatever they were called, the theirs. I wasn't big on them. And then we tried Alexa. I mean, we used the Amazon Alexas for years, but I kind of just like they use a cloud-based service. So, yeah, everybody, Big Stu's lights just went out. This guy get up and flip the switch. No, we tried Alexa, but the thing about Alexa is that it has to send it to the cloud in China, then come back down and turn your lights out. So it has that delay. You saw how quick mine was compared to his. I'll just go ahead and do that right there because Apple's controlled locally on your hub. It doesn't have to go to the cloud. So it's like instant, when you do it. But no, I got rid of the Alexa stuff when I heard about them like completely shutting a guy's home down because they thought that they had heard a racial slur on his doorbell.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I was like, and it wasn't. It just was like staticky and like messed up. That's not what he did. But he had paid for that whole service where they come out and do it. Something Amazon had just started offering. He had the whole Amazon home, and when I was like, okay, no, I don't want that. So
yeah,
I'm sure they're all getting our data, but it is what it is. I got some Alexas for sale if anybody wants some. I got the big.
Does Apple have a doorbell?
I got the 15-inch one that you can hang on the wall. I got one of those. I've got like a couple of the 8s, I think, and I got the 10-inch, and then I got a couple of the what are they called, the dots, the smaller ones or whatever. Yeah.
Does Apple have a doorbell?
No, well, no, they don't have their own like branded.
Like ring.
Yeah. I use the one we use it's from a brand called Akara because they're compatible with Apple HomeKit. They're fairly new, but it's a good one. Well, I've had all the doorbells. I've had Nest. I've had a Google doorbell. I've had Eufy. I don't know if you've heard of them. I'm one of those guys that just constantly changing things just because it's just like beard products. I see a review, you know, and I'm like, oh,
This is
wait, that
better.
could be better than the one I have right now, you know. So,
Yeah.
reviews work, man. Reviews work. Yeah.
No, yeah, my wife gets mad when we're gonna make a purchase of something. It takes me weeks because I'm researching, checking out YouTube reviews or, you know, anything like that. Like I just bought a battery powered weed eater.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I was researching and stuff because I'm just tired of messing with gas. And I was researching, and there's a lot out there, like your Milwaukee, DeWalt, those ones. But to me, those I still have a lot of weed eating to do, not just trimming around trees or the house.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at like Echo and Steel, you know, the big name guys, and I wound up going with the Echo. And I tell you what, I'd never go back. I love that thing.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd like to have another battery because it'll only run about an hour and then I got to charge it. But what I do is I weed eat first some. You know, when it dies, I go put it on a charger and then I jump on a tractor to mow some grass and then I come back and do more weed eating. But I love that thing. I just love it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, we switched everything. We don't have gas anymore because I used to have the gas weed eater too as well. And, you know, having to use the mixture, you know, the oil and gas, and, you know, I got tired of doing that. So I found one that I liked that was battery operated. And then, you know, I was like, man, I'm so tired of pulling a string on a lawnmower. So I actually got one of the higher end, the ones that has 2 batteries in it, you know, so it's really nice. Ever since then, I've been like, wow, this is awesome. But we've pretty much switched all of our tools to battery. Of course, there's some that you can't, because I mean, there's some that you need more power for and more torque, you know, than because I think isn't like for most tools, I think the most powerful battery you can get is what, 24 volt? I don't think they have 36, do they?
For like a hand tool?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they got that. DeWalt has that 60-volt Flex series.
Oh, do they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think because you can get a battery operated chop saw.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it'll take and it'll work. We got a big 1/2-inch DeWalt drill that takes that 60 volt battery. But that weed eater I got, it's 56 volt, I think.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it's made life easy. It is nice not to have to mess with gasoline and not to have to, you know, like, crap, man, what's wrong? Is the spark plug jacked? Or, you know, you know, and of course, like, I remember when I got you know, we had got a gasoline lawnmower that was a push button start. Yeah, that lasts for like 3 months, you know, before you have to use the string again. The fuse always blows and then it just won't work, you know, and so finally we just ended up getting that dual battery lawnmower. What was it? Oh man, I can't remember what it is. It's the green one.
Greenworks.
No, green and yellow.
Oh, there's another one. What the heck?
Can't remember. Damn. I don't want to run out and look. See, but right now in the summertime in Texas, I don't have to mow that much because the sun just kills it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, the other thing is with all these, you know, you got a gas pressure washer, you got a gas lawnmower, you got your gas weed eater. And the thing is you only use that stuff, even like, especially like a pressure washer, you're not using it every week even, you know? Maybe using it twice a year.
Yeah.
And the quality of gas just sucks nowadays. And, you know.
Yeah, I will admit, it's nice to walk out into the garage and not smell the gas cans, you know?
Yeah. Is it a John Deere?
No, it's
Ego.
Let's see. Hold on. I'll find it.
There's Ego and Greenworks. I know they're green. Greenworks has a commercial line too. Greenworks has a zero turn ride on mower that's battery operated.
Have you seen the robot lawnmowers?
Yeah. That one. I own about 3 acres here, and I'm going to say I mow probably about 2.5. And I don't think one of those robot ones would
Yeah, I don't think
do
so.
too well.
I don't think so either. Oh wait, here we go. Okay, let's see. Where? Oh, here we go. Ryobi. Sorry, that's what it is.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So like everything we have is Ryobi, the lawnmower, the tree branch trimmer, the weed eater,
Mhm.
we actually have a power washer, everything. I mean, we just got tired of having so much gasoline around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when it's 104 degrees. You never know if you're going to come home to your house burned down.
Yep. Yeah, because them cans get hot and they expand.
Yep.
They like to expand.
Yep.
If you don't keep them vented, and then you keep them vented, then like you said, you smell it everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Big Stu, I love my ego too. And it has nothing to do with battery operated tools. I think we scared everybody away when we started talking about pew-pews.
Yeah, there's still 20 in here.
Oh, okay, we're good.
Yeah, I don't think they're commenting much, but
everybody's going, should I comment on that or stay out of it? You know?
Yeah, a little touchy.
Yeah. It can be. It shouldn't be, but it is, you know.
that's
What's
okay.
not these days?
All right.
We can probably run down the stream anyway. It's been over 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to
Don't
do
worry
that.
about it.
That's all right.
This isn't our longest.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
It's good.
Yeah, because we went 3 hours on Command's Corner the other night for the first time. We've never, every time we've been on Command's Corner, it's pretty set. It's like 2 hours. Maybe just a tad longer. But
the way he was going, I knew that was going to be a late one.
Yeah, I was like, wow, man. Went to for me it was 11, but for them it was midnight. For Dan it was midnight. And
yep.
That was a good one, man. That was a lot of fun. That was crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everyone was a subscriber by the end of the night.
Yeah.
I think I gifted like 10, and people were gifting 5 at a time, and
yeah.
And next thing you know, everybody was green. It's like,
right.
And there was like 250 people in there, and I was like, "There's not one single person who doesn't have a membership in here. That's awesome, Yeah, that's cool, man. That's how it goes." Then I started thinking, I was like, "Wait, do I have to pay this every month, or is it like a one-time gift and then they take?"
It's like a month.
Okay, cool.
I think it's a one-time gift.
Yeah, that's what my wife.
It expires after a month.
Okay, my wife said, she was like, "Hey, are you gonna have to pay for these in memberships like every month?" And I was like, "Oh crap, I didn't think about that." But yeah, I figured that's what it was. So, I mean, hell, it's not that much. I think it was. I don't remember how much it was because, like I said, she's the bookkeeper. I don't deal with that. I don't know the value of money. She does. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of fun to talk about other things sometimes. I mean, we talked beards, in the beginning, and and all that stuff. But it's good to talk about
music, and
we do that a lot on this show.
Yeah, no,
wherever it goes.
I just thought you guys were boycotting me because I think when I was on Dan's Beard of the North, when I was on his stream, he was like, "Yeah, you used to be on a ton of streams. You're not on them anymore." And I said, "Yeah, I think the only stream I haven't been on is the Bearded Respect." It's like, I guess they don't like me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough sometimes thinking about who wants to be on and who doesn't.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go out there and say it's kind of like what you said. I mean, I don't feel that way. I don't feel that you were standoffish, but you weren't out there as much.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. I mean,
that probably attributed a little bit to it. But no, I got your stuff and I love it. And
yeah.
yeah,
I know. I just noticed. It was like, and of course, I've said this many times before. Like the social media bearded community is great, but it's really small. And so if you're only going to rely on social media for sales, you're never going to make it.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
Right.
80 to 85% of our sales come through Google, and then the rest is social media, and then other outlets, small percentages, and then word of mouth and things like that. But I guess I was in front of the camera for so many years being in music that I was done with it. I just wanted to I just wanted to make the products and make good products and put them out there. And then, I noticed people starting, I had people text me or message me and say, "Oh, you can't talk to us anymore." It's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm just so much busier now than I used to be." And I'm not saying that as like, "Oh, I'm too busy for you." I'm just saying like,
Right.
I'm horrible at managing my time, and I'm trying to figure out a better way to manage my time. That's what it was about, And so I've made a good push over the last, probably since the rebrand, where I launched the new labels and everything, to be out in the public eye more and get involved in the social media side of things. 'Cause, I mean, I've always made videos on social media. I just never really put myself in it. It was just me making products or something where you didn't see me. It just was my hands or whatever, and now it's turned into more of me kind of coming back out of my shell again and just saying, hey, it was nothing personal. It was just a growing company trying to figure out how to manage their time. That's all it was,
Oh yeah.
Right.
And that's
that's kind of like Clint too from the Captain Stash. He's not out there very much either, So we had him on. Now they say he used to be on more streams before I got into the community, but that was before my time. But yeah, it's just, I mean, it's nothing against any of these companies. It's just, I mean, when you see the guys more often, they just seem more approachable, because they're putting themselves out there. But
yeah, and I mean,
no, I'm glad you come on. I'm glad I got to talk with you and learn more about you and stuff. This was a great conversation.
Yeah,
great show tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I it's you have to ride the fine line between work and pleasure, and and we all do this. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. So 3.5 years is how long we've been in business. I literally started it to be a hobby, and it turned into a business. And everything like, as they say, shit got real. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and you have to make that decision. Am I going to devote all my time to this and try to grow the company, or am I just going to control how much I make and keep it at a certain level and just be chill? And I went the other route. I was, that was what I wanted to do, and I wanted the company to sustain itself, and I didn't want to put any more money into it myself, and I wanted it to be able to just grow organically and run itself. And I've been able to do that. Now I can develop new products, and the money doesn't come out of my pocket. The company's paying for it. I can do giveaways, and it doesn't bother me because the company's paying for it. We get MacBooks, and the company pays for it. It's just, but yeah, I mean, when I first started, I was on live streams, seems like once a week, but there was also a ton more back then. There was a lot of reviewers that have come and gone, and I was always on them. And I will admit, a lot of the like drama stuff also kind of pushed me away. You know, I was like, I'm not getting involved in any of this. You know, I don't have an opinion on it. I mean, I have an opinion, but I'm saying like it's none of my business what happened between this person and this person. You know,
Right.
So I just didn't get involved, and I think some people want you to get involved. You know, they want to drag you into it, and it's like,
Yeah,
not us. That's not going to be us. You know,
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, and I've noticed a lot of that drama is kind of starting to go away a little bit. You know,
yeah,
I'm sure it's still there. I just don't follow those accounts, and I don't pay attention to it. You know, and I think people like Garrett and Melissa, you know, were a breath of fresh air for the community, doing the funny vids, and
Absolutely.
I mean, Tyson and Copper Johns, he puts out great content, you know. I mean, not only will he do informative content, he'll also do funny stuff too as well, you know.
Yeah.
I just think that's just a better way to do it, you know. And so, but yeah, I'm trying to, you know, with the wife helping more and things like that, and sometimes my son helps, I get more time to thank you for keeping. Oh yeah. I'm not ever. I won't get involved in it, you know. And I've had people message me and try to get me in it, and I'm just like, dude, y'all figure it out yourself, man. I'm not involved in this, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not. I just don't have an opinion on it. I'm not going to take sides. Your experience with this person is not the same experience I've had, and until that happens, I can't say that I'm, you know, can go along with what you're saying, you know. And so I'm not saying that it didn't happen with whatever, you know, to that person or whatever, but it's just me. It's just, I think it's just better business to stay out of it.
Yeah.
You know? And I'll try to just stay out in front and do more, you know, like when I get quiet, that's kind of like the thing as like, that's one of the things that Chris Mack says to me all the time. He's like, I can tell when you're quiet because you're about to release something. You're working on something. I'm like, yeah, for the last, you know, the few weeks leading up to releasing something is, I'm glad orders are still coming through while we're talking here. Wow. You know, as the, you know, if I know what date I'm going to release something, that 2 or 3 weeks leading up to it, you're not going to see much from me. And then the day before it releases, here come the videos, you know. I mean, that's how it is, you know. It's like, okay, I've handled my business, I've got what I wanted done, and now I'm, you know, it's time to release it. And it's kind of like putting your baby out into the world, you know. It's like, all right, here it is, you know. So I'm pretty excited to release these new products, and I hope they do well, you know. We're always trying to figure out better ways to do things and develop different products that aren't just oil and butter and things like that. And that's what we want to do, is just keep growing the company that way. You know, you can't stay stagnant. You have to constantly be growing and thinking ahead. And I'm already 10 steps behind. I tell a lot of people that every day. I'm just like, I feel like I'm so far behind, you know, and they're like, no, you're not. And I'm like, but it feels like it, you know, it just feels like it. I mean, I've been working on one product that 2 or 3 companies have already released in the last 3 or 4 months, you know, and I'm like, I'm still not going to release it until they're ready, you know. I mean, I'm not going to rush it, you know.
That's the right way to do it. I mean, you got to make sure it's ready. It's your quality, like your standard.
Yeah, I don't want to just release it like as in a race to get there, you know.
Right.
It's like we can all do it, and we can all do it at our own pace, and you know. I mean, there is one thing I can say. I mean, that I can tell, and this doesn't have anything to do with the new products that are being developed, but we will have sample packs coming in August as well. We haven't done sample packs in years, and just because I mean, I'm sure you've heard other companies say sample packs are such a pain to make. I mean, they just really are. You would think they'd be the easiest things to make because they're just little tiny bottles you fill up, but it's really not. It's a lot of time, when you make sample packs, you can't just say, oh, I'm going to make 20 sample packs, because when you make sample packs, they sell, and that 20 will go in a couple of days, if not in the same day. So you really got to bulk up when you do it, so we had the labels made, or the designer did the labels, and they are currently being printed now, and we have the bottles already ready over here, and we're just waiting for everything to get done. And as soon as the labels get here, we'll fill everything up and label them and put them on the website. I just think that I used to be a big I just was so against sample packs for so long. I was just like, I don't want to do sample packs, and I did them for a while. I used to do them in those little matching, when I had the silver caps. You remember the metal caps?
Yeah.
When I first started, and I had found little sample bottles that matched those, that had the silver caps, and I did them back then with the nice presentation and the box, and they sold, and then eventually they just kind of tailed off, and people were just buying full-size bottles, and I just stopped making them. And then over the past 6 months or so, people keep asking. I mean, we get a day doesn't go by where we get at least 2 emails saying, do you guys have sample packs? And this is horrible. I probably shouldn't say this on a live stream, but man, it's just funny, because when I see those emails, I'm like, yeah, we just hide them on the website because we hate money and don't want you to buy them. You know what I mean? It's like, no, we don't have them, but we are working on them. People email us like we've got them hidden somewhere on the website. Yeah, it's an Easter egg hunt. If you can find them, I'll give you 50% off. Yeah, you have to have ample samples. Exactly. If you're going to have sample packs, you can't just have a few,
Yeah. I've never been a fan. Like, I've never liked samples. Like I just never been a fan, but I do know, like, a lot of people like them because of through Educate Beards, we have a sample product, and lots of people just buy it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that will not buy your products until they've tried them. And so, we've done fairly well without them, but I think that with them is only a bonus. It's only a positive, it gets them out there, and when they get them, it's they may like all of them, they may like one, they may like 3 or 4, but either way, they're going to come buy something from you if they liked even just one of them, and then you've got a customer for life, because we sat in the lab for hours upon hours filling up tiny little bottles, and selling them, So we tinkered with the idea of, there's some bigger companies that give away samples. I mean, when I say bigger, I mean bigger, bigger guys that I see, if you just pay shipping, they'll send you, 4 or 5 samples of something. I tinkered with that, and I was that idea, and I was like, no, I think I'm just going to stick to the sample pack. I think it's reasonable to pay for, for 9 or 10 oils, $25-$30, and you get to try them all, and the samples will all be 5 mils. So you're talking about a good 3-4 uses out of each one, maybe more depending on the size of your beard. I think they're worth it. That's 45 milliliters. That's a bottle and a half of oil, like a regular size. So I think you get your money's worth out of it, and it'll be a good thing, I think. My wife pushed me into it. She said, you got to do it. You got to do it. So I'm doing it. We're doing it. After 200 plus oils and a lot of stink eye from my wife, I try to grab a sample pack before I go hard into a company. Yeah. Dude, did you win or did you buy? I can't remember. You got Deep Blue, I think, is what you got, or you may have gotten a few.
Wow.
I can't remember. It was a few command corners ago, maybe a few months ago. I can't remember. Like I said, I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. So it's not personal. It's not personal. Yeah. Well, y'all ready to kick me off or what?
Yeah, I guess we'll wind her down here. We're almost hitting 3 hours.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I did it again. Two in 1 week.
It's almost midnight for me, and then puppies need their bedtime feeding, so I'll probably be up for another. Might be up for another hour.
You read them a bedtime story?
Tending. Huh?
You read them a bedtime story too?
No.
Yeah, I'll probably go straight to bed. I'm tired. It was a long day. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because Big Stu is not technically Big Stu. His name is not Big Stu.
Oh.
We're not going to reveal his real name. I appreciate you guys having me on, though. It was a lot.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time I'll try to stay out of the whole like pew pew conversation and all that.
No, Define Beard Company, though, quality stuff. If you haven't tried it, get to the store, get something. You'll find something you like. Good stuff.
Yeah, man. It's we appreciate everybody who supported us. You know, who still supports us, and hopefully it just keeps on growing. That's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan. What did he say?
He said it's okay. It's Chris.
It's Chris Stew.
Yeah, because I kept seeing that Big Stew, and then when he ordered, I was like,
"Who's that?"
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was fun. I appreciate having me on. You guys always put on a good show, and it's fun. And I'm glad I could keep y'all up for 3 hours. I guess I tend to be that 3 hour guy. Nobody's gonna ask me to be on a stream anymore. Like, no, dude, you're always up like 3 hours. But maybe we'll do it again sometime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And thank you to everybody for coming out and hanging out with us too as well, and staying up late. True North stayed up late. Chris.
Yeah, we still got a few.
I don't think True North sleeps at all.
Yeah, well, you know, something about beard company owners, we just don't get much sleep, you know.
Right.
And we got dad jokes this late in the night. Don't get him started, else we'll be here for another hour. Chris Perez.
Official Ken, it's only like 2 p.m. where he's at. So.
Oh yeah, aloha. Huh? Yeah, that's right.
All right, everyone. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
And, we'll see you guys next Thursday.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Thanks.
Hope so.